Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and friends.
We're ready to party! We're ready. I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
I'm scared. Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Dancing,
Fiesta!
romancing,
Siesta!
samba,
La Bamba! Ay caramba! Disguises! Surprises! And pies of all sizes!
Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Garfield and friends.
And pay attention. There'll be a test at the end.
Alright, I guess we have to open the door. Oh!
Wow, is that the rare swollen double underscore dingus Saturday stream I'm seeing? Yeah, you are in fact saying it, and that's what it is. It's the Splatoon 3 Splatoween Splatfest event. I'm gonna dick around for 3 hours and then go home. It's gonna be a watch streak, Feltoning style stream. Alright, we're gonna have to mash. And this is technically a run it back of the last Splatoween Splatfest they did. And I'm pretty sure we lost to Team Ghost that time. Oh fuck, we already have the halftime report? Let's see. No! It's happening again! Alright, I gotta put in some work. But, big ups. Hello, hello, and welcome. How do you doing, hello, baloo, and all that good stuff, too, for a short, spooky, scary Splatoon 3 Saturday short situation. Basically going until Anna's done. Because when Anna's done, that's my signal to get off stage myself. But I hope your Saturday evening is finding you well. I hope it's finding you well about as well as it has found me. Big ups to the dinguses, the dingers, the dongers, soul and double underscore ones, and expanded style individuals and persons existing here in the now. And big ups to the dingers, the dongers, soul and double underscore ones, expanded style individuals and persons sure to be existing in the immediate and far-flung future. We're gonna rep the zombies. And we're gonna take it back. We're gonna take it back from those fuckers, those specters. Yeah, those specters on Team Ghost, and those fucking skeletons, those simp skeletons. The skeletons and the specters, they don't know what they have it. They don't know what's coming. Oh, I guess I should check the shops first. Big ups to Arrow, Nightzoomer1, Goon, Flippy 4Man, Algernaut, Makoto underscore Simp, and anybody else coming in to preserve their streaks. Not that it matters. Preserving your streak is so much easier now. It's not even a challenge, you guys. Dude, all the years I've been playing this game, I still don't have every weapon. This is kind of my fault for not grinding other weapons. It's easier to get Sheldon licenses when you diversify the weapons that you use. But I'm just a dirty, filthy, stinky end zapper. I'm an N, as they would say. Oh, look at the art. Oh, fuck. We'll check out the art later. We'll check out the art as we close out the stream. That's what I always do. All right, give me a shirt. gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. I don't have much time, guys. Alright, we'll put on some bullshit. And then we'll go gambling! How's everyone's Saturday going? Did you do anything cool? Did you buy your Halloween decorations yet? My neighbors put their shit up, like, in September. And that shit's probably gonna spill over into November. But I guess that's fine. Motherfuckers will put up Christmas stuff in November, so why can't Halloween spill into November? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Now, when you have your Christmas stuff up in January, though, that's like... We need to have a talk. Like, when it's... like, the absolute latest I'll go is, like, January 6th. Whatever day the three wise men come, that's, like, the absolute latest you can have Christmas stuff still up. Thank you, Arrow, for the 7 streak to Felt Sangers. Where's he been at? Where's all the Sanger streams? Was there like one stream this week? What's he doing? Might buy some candy just so I can eat it. No one comes out here anymore. Oh, that's tough. I think I talked about it before, but yeah, nobody really comes around here either. Because it's a broke Hispanic neighborhood! Anyone that wants to go to trick-or-treating in this town usually goes to the white people neighborhood. That's pretty fucked up, man. Alright, I think well, I need one Ink Saver sub, like, what the fuck? Not that Gen 6. No, I promise you, I wasn't, like, no, that wasn't an intended joke. I wasn't referencing Gen 6 like that. Mama Dingus used to always crow on about, like, the three wise men coming to town to fill up the stockings, so it would be like a mini, a little mini second Christmas, and it would be like the week of January 6th. Upgrades the sub-weapon. I think I would rather do... six just for main weapon. Actually, yeah, we can do that. I totally get why no one trick-or-treats around here. It's not safe anymore, man. Your kids aren't safe. Or something. And then, like, post-COVID and all that, people still are a bit apprehensive, I should say. Maybe, kinda. Oh, I like the spooky lobby music. Oh, we got the unique patterns in the ink again, and the unique spooky green ink color. Ooh, zombie blood green! Ooh, it's monster blood. Remember Monster Blood? Some of those Goosebumps books were pretty fetishistic looking back. The best Goosebumps book was the one with the least amount of supernatural shit happening in it. If my recollection serves me well. The best Goosebump book is How I Learned to Fly. I don't think they ever made a TV adaptation of that one. It was just a book-only Goosebumps thing. But that one has, like, no supernatural shit in it, other than the kid learning how to fly. And then the conflict is him learning to, like, having to deal with being famous because he learned how to fly. And I think he has a rival, and there's, like, a girl he's trying to win the affection of by showing off the fact that he can fly. Pick up J Frosty and Astro. This game is fetishistic? I have no idea what you mean. Why am I on a team with Latex Dog? I like that name, though, Spaghetti. Damn. I should have taken that name. Alright, I will actually watch videos on this stream, because nobody wants to actually see me play Splatoon. What are we thinking, guys? We've got a lot of videos. You just want to cut into the Arlo shit? Do you just want to make it a big Arlo catch-up stream? I mean, he took that big hiatus. There's really not that much Arlo to go through. You just want to stick the needle in me, get it over with? We could do Arlo. He's got so many hot takes. You can see him talk about Pokemon. You can see him talk about the Kirby Direct. No, fuck. Did I see Nintendine getting felted on Twitter? No, I don't pay attention to Twitter stuff like that. Hello, Red Animator. Ainsley, what video do I want to see the most? Oh, you're asking me what I want to see? I do want to kind of just veg out to Ꞓ❻ᝋ tonight. I'm basically asking for you guys' permission nicely. I'm on my hands and knees like, guys, I don't want to listen to like Synthetic Man cry and whine and shit about like Battlefield 6. Can we just, can we please just listen to ꞓ❻ᝋ be lame and make it a very easy Saturday? Like, can you guys go easy on me? Don't I deserve enough after that absolute feltoning I endured on the Mario Party Scuffed collab stream yesterday? By the way, I got a new Ethernet cord. It seems like the Ethernet cord was the issue yesterday. Whatever happened with that millisecond power surge last night fucked up the Ethernet cord. So I bought a new one, a new flashy Ethernet cord, category 6, whatever, and it seems to be working fine. I have it plugged in right now for Splatoon. And I think my internet recovered as well, so that's good. I had a heart attack because Seru told me, oh, so, some Switch 2s have a software issue where the Ethernet port just stops working. The Switch 2 is no longer able to recognize the Ethernet port accurately. And I was like, ah, oh, fuck me, if that's what it was. I mean, it's only been 4 months since launch. It probably would have been still covered under manufacturer's warranty, but like, no, nobody wants to do that. Anyway, we're winning. But it seems like it was just a cord. I apologize again for the stream going down mid-collab. Thankfully, it was technically between the two Mario Party games, but it did split the VOD. So I'm in the process of patching the VODs together. We're gonna stitch them together. I could just upload them separately, but I think that's a little lazy, and the second VOD wouldn't have an intro, and the first VOD wouldn't have an outro, and this disrupts my autism. We cannot have that happening. So I will awkwardly stitch them together and then upload them. I'm in the process of doing that, but it takes a minute because the videos are so long. You see Imiru's recent speech? I did not. That's not a hardware issue. Apparently, it's just it's not really any. The way they explained it to me yesterday, it's not that the port has anything wrong with it. It's the Switch 2's like internal software being unable to recognize the Ethernet connection anymore due to a glitch of some sort, and the glitch has yet to be patched. Hey, Aqua. Made a video saying Z-A bombed because it didn't sell 10 million. D-Cyph says, but it's selling objectively worse than Arceus. Such was the point of the video. So Dean was right. Stuff a Pokemon. Legends of Arceus was one of the lesser selling Pokemon games on the Switch anyway. Wasn't it? Around with those Diamond and Pearl remakes. Alright, yeah, let's hear him talk about Pikmin. The Pikmin update. Because this is the one where he comes back from like a hiatus.
Funny story, I took the day off. I was feeling particularly tired.
No, thankfully the Switch 2 is not a lemon.
And when I'm feeling particularly tired and stressed, and I really just want to veg out on something nice.
It was his one day off.
It
was his one day off, and Nintendo had to fuck with him with a sudden announcement.
Played all the way through 1 and 3, minus the last boss of 3, because like, whatever. But so it's funny. I had no idea that while I was just spending the day playing Pikmin, Nintendo announced that they were updating Pikmin 4. Now, I will say it is a little bit disappointing. A regular old update means that we're not getting a Switch 2 edition, and I was really hoping, really imagining that they would do a Switch 2. It made all the sense in the world, but guess
predicting what Nintendo's gonna do.
If we get a more regular update,
that was your first mistake.
More of a chance that we'll get a full sequel sooner, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But
I thought the trolls said we were already working on Pikmin 5.
Pikmin 4. I really did, but I'm like, it's just too long, you know? The next time I commit to playing the whole way through again, it's gonna be like I'm gonna stream it and all that stuff. I need a Pikmin game I can play in one sitting. you know?
The Pikmin
But
3DS
as I
game.
was playing 1 and 3, I was thinking about 4 and just thinking how crazy it was that they hadn't updated it, and it's really, really funny that they had, or they announced that they were going to. And yeah,
Is this
so,
just gonna
like,
be a React video?
expectations Here,
I don't see
I'm
B-roll.
pretty sure I saw somewhere that there's a difficulty option thing or something. Not 100% sure, but I think it's that. I don't know what else this may entail. If it's a
Nintendo
whole
doesn't like
video,
Mario Galaxy.
it could
I
be that we're
guarantee it's
getting
because of
other
how Mario
little things
controls.
too.
I didn't see that video, but I saw the
As I
thumbnail.
was thinking about it and what it should have gotten,
He thinks people glaze it. It's
really just a new game plus.
what is
Almost
it?
out of like anything that they could do to Pikmin 4.
It's
I mean,
too
sure,
much
there's, like,
spectacle,
giving us the option
Mario
to,
Galaxy.
Turn off auto lock on. That'd be really good. But then just a new game plus. So we could
All
run through
flash,
the game
no
with
class.
all of the abilities unlocked. That would at least
Style
make the
over
game a lot
substance?
faster. That would make it more likely to be something I could just kind of sit down and do. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what all this entails here. It's a 2-minute long video. Yeah, I don't know. I've already talked endlessly about the kind of stuff that I feel like the game needed. I guess I should just watch the thing. Let's just watch the thing now.
The thing?
I'm obviously very excited, though. Very, very excited. Oh, better graphics. Better graphics. Did it not already have a photo
now
mode?
take pictures on your adventure with the new.
Thought it had a photo mode already too, to be
You
honest.
could have fooled me. I forgot. 3 does.
Find your favorite angle and snap a photo.
That is good, though.
You can customize your photos by adding stamps and frames.
All right, we're burning precious time here. Give me the good stuff.
Capture your favorite moments.
Give me New Game
Or
Plus.
otherwise, while traveling alongside your Pikmin.
No, that is really cool, though. Decor Pikmin.
Oh,
Like in Bloom.
unique.
How do I feel Arlo talk knowing who he is now? I still think the voice fits. We lost. No! I still think the voice fits, you know, how he looks. It's not disconcerting at all.
Pikmin.
That's funny.
Why, it's a decor Pikmin.
They're like, we modeled all this stuff. Might as well put it in the games.
You can find them hiding all throughout the map.
You can
Is he
find them
fat and gross? You
hiding?
still haven't seen what he looks
Based
like?
on where each one's located.
I've shown this off on stream twice. Were you just MIA both times? I deleted it again. Fuck it.
You have to find them?
Elusive Pikmin.
Oh, I am so interested now. Oh, yes.
I don't want Arlo on my hard
I
drive.
want to find them all.
Yeah, just link him the vid.
The decor Pikmin you discover will join your squad. Good luck finding them during your travels.
Okay. I don't know what you do with them from there, but okay.
Decor Pikmin you meet in the game can also join you in the Smart Device app.
You're pretty close, Astro.
Finally, some
I think you should
crossover.
look at it.
Oh, is that all this is, though?
There it is. Click it if you dare.
Activity level?
With the relaxed level, wildlife won't attack unless you strike first.
Big ups Eddie B43.
Enjoy a more mellow adventure.
Your watch streak is
Capture photos
retained.
Up close at their own
It's
pace.
how
Silent
aggressive
Assassin.
the enemies are?
Creatures will also be easier to defeat.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's cool.
Checking out some Arlo while enjoying the Splatoon Halloween event.
For a more challenging adventure.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh,
Doing great,
yeah.
great, Aqua. Thank you for
You're
asking.
speaking my language here.
This free update for Pikmin 4 will be available this November. An updated free demo of the main game
Doesn't this update kind of seem like stuff that should have already been in the main game?
will also be available on
And I
Nintendo
assume-
eShop the same day.
Performance?
Nothing about performance. Nothing about
I
performance.
assume?
Nothing about
Is that-
performance. He's malding.
Is it not getting a performance patch for Switch 2?
Where is the performance thing?
Is it not included? Let me, hold on. That'd be ridiculous. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Okay, yeah, apparently there's no word at all if this includes a performance update.
Did you
for
see that
Switch 2.
gameplay? I don't think it's enhanced, buddy.
It just does not. They didn't say, and so I mean.
Did you see that footage? You did not see the
we
trailer
can't,
footage,
like,
Arlo? Did that look
assume
60 to
it
you?
won't, but there's no reason to assume that it will.
Don't you think that
include
would have
such
been
an
included in the
update.
trailer as a bullet
That's,
point if it was 60
weird.
frames? It didn't
That's
say
weird.
Switch 2
this
update.
Is weird. This is very
It said free
strange.
update.
I don't know what to make of this. I really don't know what to make of this. It's cool, obviously. You know, you got like Bloom integration, a photo mode.
Do people want
higher difficulty?
mobile Pikmin integration into mainline Pikmin?
But
does anyone play
why
Pikmin Bloom?
Why now? Why are we getting this now, years after the game comes out, when we're expecting, like, if anything, it's going to be like a Switch 2 edition?
But if it was, they would have said it was.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's not going to be it.
Update they should have done 2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So, but then if this is,
they were too busy fixing Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
This is coincide. It's not. What? I'm so confused. I don't really.
And you tried to sweep
Why
for
is this
that.
Happening? Any other like updates for old games now? It's because of Switch 2. You know, like Splatoon 3 got an update now. It runs better. Like, why? It would have to include that. They wouldn't just update the Switch 1 version without any performance.
But it still plays on
upgrades.
Switch 2. You just don't get any performance enhancements.
Unless
I mean,
they
like, you can
are still
enjoy the
planning on doing a
update.
Switch 2 edition, but if they were doing that, then why would they make a big thing out of this? Why
There
would
might
they
be a
make
Switch
big
2 edition,
show out
and then
of
the new content is
updating
like a new campaign.
the
I don't know.
original game?
Maybe. Okay.
If they weren't
wait,
also
I got
going
a
to
good
announce
counter.
Switch 2 plans. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so I just said how the stuff in this free update feels like it should have been an update like released 2 years ago. Now riddle me this, Arlo. If they had did this as a Switch 2 edition, a Switch 2 edition upgrade that you had to pay for, you know, pay for difficulty levels, pay for photo mode, pay for very minor incremental changes to the game that should have been in the base game, would that not be more egregious if they charged for it? And if you wanted like the photo mode, you had to pay for like the Switch 2 edition. If you wanted the difficulty settings, you'd have to pay for the Switch 2 edition. Or if you vice versa, if you want the performance enhancements, the 60 FPS or the 4K resolution, you have to pay for this extra shit that you don't really want. Like maybe you don't want the hard mode shit. So would it not have been more egregious to charge, let's say $20 for stuff that should have been in the base game? Would it not have been better to just have that as a free update, even if it's a bit late out, like 2 years later? You could still do a Switch 2 edition and then just attach a DLC campaign to it like Kirby did. I don't know why he's confused.
I don't get this at all. Do not under. Is it possible they would like
okay,
they were going to do Switch 2 edition, but they
if you tied 4K resolution and 60 FPS to the content in this free update video and then charged that for $20, would people consider that to be worth $20? I don't think so.
also wanted to give the Switch 1 version some updates too. But then again, why would they announce that early? Okay, so yes, that's strange. In GL, that's weird. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to put that aside for now. Let's just focus on the actual content itself. The decor thing is cute. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work or what the point is.
It's to have another thing to do in the game. It's a little side thing, I bet. Now, would people have cared if that was part, okay, again, if they put that decor Pikmin thing, the integration with the mobile Pikmin game, if they charged $20 for that, would people have been hyped about that or mad about that? Or would they have not given a fuck? I think they would. First of all, they'd be primarily confused. I don't think that's worth charging $20 for and making that a part of a Switch 2 edition. That's fine to have as a free update for the people that play that game. I don't think that would be viable to attach to a $20 Switch 2 edition. People might not care about that. They might just want the performance enhancements, but to get that, they have to pay for this hypothetical edition that includes worthless shit they don't care about, like the mobile game integration. I understand. Look, confusing on the surface, I understand why it's a free update and not a Switch 2 edition. Because if they made it a Switch 2 edition, you're paying $20 for stuff that should have been in the base game. And, 60 frames in 4K resolution. I think it'd be better, especially after all this controversy. It's probably the reason why it's not part of a Switch 2 edition, this free update, because they're not dumb, they're not deaf. they know people are upset with these recent DLC decisions and variable pricings that they've introduced. You know, 𝞃ⱅ could say this was part of a Switch 2 edition, but after all the flack they got, maybe they decided to roll it as a free update, and maybe Pikmin 4 will get a Switch 2 edition later on down the line that actually has, let's say, a full meaty DLC campaign attached to performance enhancements like Kirby got. Who can fucking say? But from what I can see from this free update, I don't think it'd be worth paying $20 for. Just to have the game itself be in 60 frames. I think that'd be a little bit of a jip compared to some of the other Switch 2 editions that we've seen so far. I zoned out. I don't know what he even said. He's confused as to why this isn't a Switch 2 edition with 4K 60 frames. And I'm just saying, well, the shit here isn't worth $20 because that's what the Switch 2 editions cost, the upgrades, if you already have the game. So he's confused as to why it's not a paid update. And I'm saying, Noir, it ain't worth $20. He's basically confused as to why he's not being charged for that. Like, Nintendo giving something for free? He doesn't understand.
Like, if they die, I don't know. I don't think I really care. I think finding them, hunting them all down, that's what I want to do. I don't know if they're
when I'm saying it's not worth 20, you know it's tough.
Where it is. I like that idea. Because it's a really big world.
And going back to Splatoon, thank you for the streak.
Like, hey, here's some stuff to go find in it. That's certainly fun. The bloom stuff is fine. The photo mode. I mean, it is cool. I'm sure you can get a lot of really cool pictures. And it's really neat how the photo mode it kind of plays.
Photo mode should not be paid DLC. I don't know why he wants it to be paid DLC. That's fine for a free update, but you shouldn't charge for that.
You have an easier time taking pictures. That is very fun. So yeah, so the difficulty levels though, it seems to really
don't charge for difficulty. Nobody likes that.
Enemy aggressiveness.
You should never charge for difficulty
modes. It doesn't mention
modes.
anything about, like, because, you know, Ultra Spicy mode in Pikmin 3 Deluxe is like 60 Pikmin limit. Apparently they do drown faster. So that is a thing. The Pikmin drown faster. And you get less juice and stuff. Yeah, but here it really just seems to be how mean the enemies are. However, that is really cool though, because yeah, like more HP, more aggressive, like the actual.
He's crying about the Pikmin update and why is it free? Why am I not being charged for it?
That's humongous.
He's upset and confused as to why it's not a paid update.
Part of what makes these games, when you reach a point where it's really easy, it's because you've got the enemy really figured out, and like if you've got them figured out and you know their openings, then you know it can be pretty easy, especially with OG, just smash into them or whatever. Especially in this game. So yeah, the idea that they're just more aggressive. I like that. I like that a lot. You can change it at any time, so it's not like you enter and, you know, beat the game on fierce setting. So it's almost not quite a full difficulty setting. Select that one so I can read the... Darn. It is cool though. It is very, very cool. Obviously, like yeah, because this game, it's very, very, very approachable, very streamlined. So it is very easy. You know, like even the first time through, it felt pretty easy because it's just so easy to cheese everything. OG kind of trivializes a lot of the combat, so this is good.
Yeah, I didn't like the dog.
This is good.
I've cried about him enough.
Pleased with this.
He's pleased.
Confused.
Certainly. He's confused.
And you can tell.
He doesn't know why he's not being asked to open the Ꭓꝋłł̝ėēꞥ wallet.
This is definitely pretty sure this is running on a Switch 1. And they didn't mention a performance update.
It's not happening.
I don't want to assume that there is one.
It's not happening. If it was, there would have been saying. They would have said.
Just for Switch 1. No performance update.
They would have said if there was a performance update.
Switch 2 edition coming.
Hey, Gondola.
Why does Nintendo have to be this way?
They would have said if there was a performance update in the video.
And sometimes it's usually fun.
It's still going.
Making me think so hard. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Why do you make me think so much? Well, golly, there's a harder difficulty setting. Now I really want to play through it again. But now I'm even more like, is there going to be more? I don't want to... If they're going to give us a performance update, I want to wait until then before I play it again.
Oh my god.
Especially
Isn't Pikmin the kind of game that's designed for replay value? Just, who cares?
That's tough. That's tough. And no New Game Plus. No New Game Plus. Man, it's such a long game.
Is Pikmin known for New Game Plus?
Don't get me wrong. I really love that they gave us a Pikmin game with so much content. But like...
So much for you.
know,
Hey, Saru,
like,
thank you for the re-up 1 month at Tier 1 for 29 months.
I'm just, Pikmin 1...
Okay, I'm listening to Arlo for the first time in weeks. Arlo is back from a hiatus. Arlo had his 1 day off of the week, and Nintendo ruined it by dropping an announcement video about Pikmin 4 getting a free update. Arlo is upset and confused that the Pikmin update is free and not a paid update that has performance enhancements for Switch 2. This is a, the game came out 2 years ago. This is a just regular update for Pikmin 4. There are no performance enhancements for Switch 2. It won't run 60 frames. It won't be 4K. It doesn't run any better on Switch 2. It's just a regular update with stuff that should have been in the base game 2 years ago. And he is confused as to why he's not being charged for it and why it is free. And he says it should have Switch 2 enhancement stuff included and be a paid update. I'm arguing that the stuff included here is not worth paying for, and if all of that was tied to performance enhancements and charged $20 for, that would be bad, because the stuff included in this free update is difficulty settings and photo mode, and that's stuff that's like included in the base games for free or added in free updates later. You don't charge for difficulty settings, and you certainly don't charge for photo mode. People would not pay $20 just to have photo mode. And people might want to play hard mode, but they won't want to pay $20 for hard mode. I think what they should do, if they want to do a Switch 2 edition, which they still can, is just come up with new content, like the DLC campaign, like Kirby, and tie the $20 performance enhancements to that. There's precedent for that. There's no precedent for attaching the update to, like, fucking photo mode and difficulty settings. They charged for hero mode in Breath of the Wild DLC back in 2017, and nobody liked that. And they have not done that since.
It is like the jankiest of
hey,
all
Ryan
of them.
MK.
It's the least refined. And yet it is the Pikmin game I can play
I'm having
in
fun
one
with
sitting.
Splatoon. I don't know how alive the online is.
By itself has so much value.
I think 2's online is dead, but you could get 2 for pretty cheap these days for a used copy. And 3 is still, I think 3 should still be bopping. It's the latest one. It's an old one, but they still do the quarterly Splatfest events.
Value. It's the one I can just sit down and play all the way through, like 3 hours. I don't think you could get this game that short, but like it would be a lot easier to commit to a playthrough if there was some like New Game Plus option or something. But whatever. You get what you get. Don't throw a fit. And we got this cool new update, and it's coming in November. We don't even know exactly when, because Nintendo just has to be vague about everything. I don't understand it, but anyway, yeah, that's that. Goodbye. End of video.
All right, that's his thoughts on Pikmin 4 and the free update that doesn't have any enhancements with it. I want to hear his thoughts on Pokemon Legends Z-A. This is technically the latest main channel video. So this is that was a Ramble channel video that we just watched. Secondary channel, rambling video. This is a main channel video, and the Muppet should be in the video. Let's see.
This video was brought to you by Squarespace.
I'm sure it was.
That was just fun. Before we get started, first I want to address something that I said in the...
He's addressing the drama! Wah! Arlo's Discord was exposed! Wah!
Goddess, I thank you.
Big ups Brian MK with the gifted tier 1 to Big Rocket Man Turbo HD Remix. Whoa, we see that guy all the time here. Wow, and thank you for the hype train. Whoa! Let's get some fucking support for the hype train, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, massive hype train. You could win big. unlike me, I just disconnected. Let's get some support for the hype train, bud. You could win big and get an amazing new emote. All right, what was the drama again? Is he in trouble? Did he touch someone?
The video I want to address something that I said in the video I put out on Topic Arlo. It was my last minute hopes for Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh, the last minute hope and cope video? I still have that in the playlist. We could watch that after. We'd be kind of watching these in reverse, but that's fine. We can compare what he thinks about the game to what he thought about it going in. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's see what is the hope and cope here. What is he gonna say? Is he gonna sweep for the day 1 DLC?
Want to talk about something I said and the reaction to my
Did he say the N-word?
Wait,
the reaction to him saying slurs?
I am well aware now that Gator,
Guttleman. Wait, no, really, Gator? Did Gator called out Arlo? Gator called out Arlo? Hey, Red Chick. Gator is calling out Arlo?
To my words,
Gator? It's me, Gator.
Well aware now that Gator,
Brian, it's Gator,
is spelled G-A-T-O-R.
No, it's spelled, it is actually spelled Gaydurrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr missed. Damn it. He's talking about Feraligatr. Feraligatr, when they made the Pokemon Feraligatr in Gen 2, you could only have the Pokemon names be so long, but the Western localizers were dented! And they gave Feraligatr a name that was like 11 characters or something, but the limit was 10 characters, so they shortened the name by cutting out the O. So even now, to this day, canonically, Feraligatr's name in English just doesn't have an O in it, even though it's pronounced still like Feraligatr.
Is spelled G-A-T-O-R. O-R. Not E-R, as I...
Not that ER.
As I seemed to claim in that video. I don't know if the insomnia excuse still holds water. Because, I mean, like, it is still a thing. It totally is. You know, and in particular...
The gator
the
thing?
last 2 nights before that, I did not sleep very much. I don't know how much I can excuse these lapses in brain functioning and blame it on that kind of thing. I don't know, but I do thank you for bearing with me. I don't
Big
know.
ups, Ryan, keeping up the hype train. Gifting a tier 1 that ends a win. Bro, they're here right now.
I guess. Just
be sure to thank Ryan ends a win.
Puts an E. I'm just not thinking.
Thank you so much.
About the actual name. So it just it happened, and I
welcome to the
apologize.
Fuck Gator Festival. Apparently,
you all know that I know that. And it was a lapse in judgment, and I had to say it here so that I wouldn't have to be...
Yeah, no longer will Ends of Win have to suffer through Spanish ads.
Enjoy the actual video. Hello, my lovely, lovely friends.
There he is!
I have been playing Pokemon Legends ZA, and now the time has come for me to share with you my early impressions. As usual, opinions are pretty all over the place. A lot of people have plenty of nice things to say
Phil
about
likes
the
it
game,
even though
but then
the
there are a
reviewers
whole
hate
lot
it.
of criticisms, naturally.
The criticism
It is a Pokemon
thing.
game we're talking about. But it's interesting because a lot of people have been really curious to know what I would end up thinking about the game.
Really?
And yet,
People
so
care about
far,
Arlo's opinion on
I
Pokemon.
think I might be able to say that this has been one of the least surprising Pokemon games I've ever played. Like, apart from one exception, which I'll mention, basically everything has been completely, perfectly, precisely in line with my expectations based on the trailer and, like, playing the demo and stuff. Like, the game is not worse or better than...
Going in, so this Arlo does this all the time nowadays. I don't know if it's a clickbait or something, but he'll always act as though these first-party Nintendo games coming up are hiding something under the hood. Like there's one big surprise left that's gonna change up the game once it gets revealed. He was expecting this for Mario Kart World. He was expecting this for Kirby Air Riders. He was expecting this for Pokemon Legends Z-A. and you could say he was expecting it for Donkey Kong Bonanza, but Pauline got leaked early on, so it's like he was pretending there was still something that was left to be revealed, but Nintendo of Korea had already spoiled that Pauline was going to be in the game, so he was just kind of doing it to be fake. There was nothing hidden in Mario Kart World, and there certainly wasn't nothing hidden in Pokemon Legends Z-A. The marketing kind of showed its face on the tin. The way he's thinking that marketing is doesn't exactly benefit the game. Like, it doesn't benefit the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo to hide a major thing about the game and not talk about it in marketing. Now, if you want to hide a couple Mega Evolutions, like, and don't show those off in the marketing, that's one thing. But he was expecting, like, a major feature of the game was just not going to be revealed until release. And it was just gonna completely change everyone's opinion on the game, and it was gonna seriously drive up the hype, and it just didn't happen.
What I expected.
Yeah, one more thing.
In pretty much any
Thank you for the hype train, guys.
Right now, I think I still technically may be in the tutorial. I'm not 100% sure. This game really does have a long tutorial. It is quite a while of just being like, go here, do this, go here, do this, you know, before they take the training wheels off. And I think the wheels are off. It's opened up a good bit. I still kind of have this feeling like they're running behind me with their hands on either side of me, you know? It's like, technically I'm riding on my own, but like they're still kind of there. I don't know, but
a lot of you are playing this game right now, so you can go ahead and share your thoughts on what he thinks about the game. Is he right or wrong?
Characters and concepts and whatnot. I do feel like I've gotten a pretty good vertical slice so far. Got a pretty good taste of what the game has to offer, and the game really is decently small in scope, at least relatively. You know, this isn't a big Pokemon adventure, this big grand thing, you know, like the last couple games. It was Scarlet and Violet, huge open world, and then Legends Arceus, you know, not as big as that, but it still had these really big open areas. This really is just the one city, and it's really not actually that big of a city. And I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a bad thing. I kind of feel like it works for this game. I know that if, you know, it's the Pokemon Company, they make so much money, so there is kind of an expectation to make a bigger experience, especially if they're charging next-gen prices for it. But
I mean, it's a Switch 1 game.
For what
it's a Switch 1 game, though. It's a Switch 1 game, though.
It does kind of work. It's giving me kind of Yakuza or even like Persona vibes, you know.
I'm glad he said Yakuza, because I mentioned that when Phil was crying about the game.
Huge,
why is it only one city?
Why
can't they make smaller experiences?
Packed, because
here's my cope, right? Oh, it's the Pokemon Company, so the games have to be so fucking big because they make so much money. But why are they not allowed to make smaller scale games as like side projects? Because this isn't the next main game. It's not Generation 10. Why can't they make a smaller scale game?
Smaller space, there's a much bigger emphasis on characters. You know, like you bump into these characters all the time. And,
sorry, you make too much money. All your games have to be have to have $1 billion budget.
Waiting for me, you know, like it's really
you make too much money.
Setting up a lot of stuff, a lot of plot threads, and I'm sure there's going to be a whole mystery and all sorts of intrigue and everything. That said, I will remind you that I did not play Pokemon X and Y, so a lot.
Don't worry, a lot of people didn't.
Going over my head, there's probably a lot more like story and character significance in here that I'm not catching. But
no, we're not out of Arlo videos, Eddie B, not by a long shot.
Still finding it all pretty enjoyable so far. The characters are fun. I'm curious to see where the story goes.
Yeah, you're curious. You're bi-curious, probably.
There are two things about the story that I can point out so far. The first is I know that like basically every game, especially like, you know, a Nintendo game, a Pokemon game, like they're always going to be like pretending that the main character is the player is special. You know, like you are the only one who can help us, and they're not wrong.
Special
you are the person playing the game. But this game, it kind of lays it on a little bit thicker than usual, and it's almost kind of off-putting. Like I'm starting to feel like, I'm starting to feel like I'm the mark here. This is like a citywide scam.
You're the mark and he's the carny.
Like M. Night Shyamalan's The Trap. I feel like I'm getting the trapped here. Like there's something going on. Because like, they're just like, the second you get there, they're like, oh, well, you've never picked up a Pokeball in your life? You're definitely the one who's going to save this city. And you're like, what does that even mean? Like, they just, like, I don't even get it. They're laying a lot on me really fast, and it's strange. Like, is that going to be a plot point? Or is that just a game being a game? I'm really not sure yet. I'm pretty curious, though. And then another surprising thing, leading up to release, you know, watching all the trailers and stuff, it was like, it really does just kind of look like these wild areas are just city streets that they dumped a bunch of Pokemon in. Like, it doesn't look really that natural.
Oh, yeah, that's the idea.
And that was kind of like a criticism of what we saw.
Thank you to the new follow, Dracula_RH. Appreciate it.
Huh? Yeah, apparently,
welcome in.
Characters, the people who live in this city, agree.
I'm listening to everyone's favorite YouTuber, Ɦᵤ, complain about Pokemon while losing in Splatoon. You've come to the right place.
They agree. That's like a thing. It's like a plot point.
Thing.
There are people who are like, you can't just take Pokemon and dump them into the city. It's kind of like they're wreaking havoc. It's like a problem. So like, no, I mean, that's pretty fun. I'm genuinely curious to see where
Ɦᵤ wanted there to be parks in the game
goes.
But aren't there parks in the game?
Continue. A quick reminder that this video was brought to you by Squarespace. I needed a website
segment.
where I could recommend
Chill. Money.
Coding.
Money me now.
There's no way I'm doing that.
Money me now.
Squarespace, I started with a template, and then I used the intuitive builder to tweak
there are
stuff,
no parks?
move it around, format
Ɦᵤ
it,
dub.
put in whatever I wanted, and I was done. Boom, slick, professional-looking site. Uploading content is super easy as well. I paste in my text, I embed pictures or videos or whatever, schedule everything to automatically publish and push to social media later.
Thank you for the treats,
and
Algernon.
again, I am done. And
Don't
my
forget
site's
to redeem
simple.
your
Like,
treats,
you can
fella.
do whatever you want. You know, something fancy for your business, for your customers. You can sell stuff, or something personal. You can put your digital art on there, like a portfolio, anything. If you need something extra fancy, Squarespace offers lots of powerful extensions, and they also offer a great suite of analytics to keep track of everything. To try out Squarespace for yourself, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. Then when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/Ɦᵤ to save 10% off your first website or domain. And now for today's recommendation.
What's he gonna recommend?
We Are But Hunks of Wood by Little People. Electronic, indie, pop kind of thing. Some people describe it as trip hop. I feel like that's only some of the time. I don't know. It's a really fantastic album, though. It's from 2012, but it still feels really fresh to me. Thanks again to Squarespace. Please enjoy the rest of the video. And speaking of story and characters and all that, the cutscenes are not bad. They're really not bad. I know that
yeah, the character animations seem to have improved in this one.
Low. Like, you know, going back to Sword and Shield, that was one of my biggest problems with the game, is there was barely any story. And the story that we did get, they couldn't be bothered to actually animate the characters doing it, especially if it like required a unique animation. They would just not do it. They would just like cut to black or whatever.
No, Pokemon still does that too, though.
You know, that was
a lot of
big
JRPGs still do that, actually.
Was a decent improvement, but this is like definitely the best yet. Like, this is the best animated Pokemon yet. I mean,
you know why that is? Probably because the city is so small in scale. Probably because it's a smaller scope game. They had more time to work on animations.
There are obviously there are going to be a lot of recycled animations and stuff. Like any game is going to do that, but there are also a pretty good number of little bespoke animation moments, you know, like these characters are decently expressive for a Pokemon game. It's kind of surprising, which is making the absolute complete and utter lack of voice acting a little bit weirder, you know. Like, I'm not even the kind of person who feels like every game absolutely has to have voice acting, but I will say, like, the better animated these cutscenes get, the more weird it is that everyone is just dead silent, just not so much as a squeak coming out of anyone's mouth. It is getting pretty awkward. But, you know, if there is one thing about Pokemon Legends ZA that has actually surprised me so far,
yeah, we can always go with the classic hope. The voice acting would be cringe if they did included it. Hey, Amron. Hello.
It is the visuals. And I know that's funny because, like, the game is very plain. You know,
it's plain.
You're not wrong. The game could
going
look
on with
a lot better. But I would say that plainness is really the game's biggest sin. I don't think the game looks bad. It doesn't look as good as it should, especially because, like, this is a city. Like, you know, like, even real cities look more interesting than this. Like it's video game world. You know, you take normal things and you make them even more interesting.
Thank you for the fan
It is pretty plain, and it is a Pokemon game, so a lot of it is just kind of inconsistent.
Arlo was
you know,
complaining about Pokemon.
Okay,
Join
but
us.
Then other stuff was obviously put on the back burner until they ran out of time. You know, everyone talks about like the balconies and stuff. Sometimes it's just like these flat textures or.
I turn off the voices in Dragon Quest XI because it's designed to have no voices. Sometimes games are great without characters yapping constantly. I just think about like when they do include voices, the amount of people that I watch or of the like, you know, Worski would be a great example. Worski will always just mute the characters or just complain about them talking too much. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Whatever. So plain, yes, but I would not say bad, and in some areas actually better than I expected. I really was expecting them to just run the game at a higher resolution, and that's it, you know, and especially if they're going to charge $70 for it, then that's annoying, or $10 more than the Switch 1 version. That was going to be really annoying. But no, I am happy to see that they did basically give this game the, you know, the Metroid Prime 4 treatment, where I don't want to say remaster. They're not remaster. They're releasing both versions at the same time. It is a higher quality mastering of the same experience. The textures in this game are much, much sharper than you would get in the Switch version. It's not just the resolution that the game is rendering at. It is also the textures themselves in the same way that they would do if they were remastering a game. So it does actually look pretty good. Like when you're in a place, especially like indoors.
For $70, I'd hope so.
Indoor areas, you know, like your little room where you're looking around and you're like, you know what? If I kind of squint, it almost looks like I'm not playing a Pokemon game. It's pretty okay. But then a problem comes from inconsistency. You know,
really?
4 out of 5 textures would look.
I thought
great.
I would have been out of range for that.
One that looks like it wasn't remastered at all. It's just like, oh no, like why is this one?
I think the avatars, in response to Flippy's comment, that the Pokemon Go avatars influence the future games. They kind of suck now after that. I think they did influence how the avatars look in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think the avatars for this game, the art style for the human characters in general for Legends Z-A, much better than how the characters look in Scarlet and Violet, like by far.
Sidewalk texture. Still
everything went to shit when they ditched the Sugimori art style.
So like, yeah, inconsistency is another kind of a problem, but they did touch up the visuals more than I expected, and overall just having the game run really well, that still does mean a lot to me. You know, like if I were playing on Switch 1, I would be way more bothered about the plain visuals, but like it's not terrible and it's running. I know this is like total Stockholm syndrome. I know, like I know we should expect more from Pokemon, but I don't know. It's really not the worst. And even just having that high resolution and frame rate, it really, really does wonders. So even this relatively plain environment, I don't know, it's still that much more pleasant to be in. So back to the city itself and, you know, what you do in it. So you've got this day and night cycle, and as I've talked about,
I agree,
I've been
Sugimori art style was
curious to see
soulful.
how they were going to handle it. Is it real time? Is it something that you select and you decide when to go into each mode? Basically, it is real time. It is. It's based on a real clock, and yeah, you know, during the day.
They advertised that it was real time. Do you think they were lying?
Wild areas, just kind of like whenever you want, they're just kind of there waiting for you, and you know, there are items all over the place in wild areas and out. There are people, NPCs all over the place. You can do like little side quests. You know, people just have little missions for you. Go do this. Go beat that. It's stuff. You know, we've had this before, but there's a good amount of it, and there's like these crystals that you can break and get gems or whatever, and there's like, you know, the rooftops you can explore those. So like there's a good amount of just like kind of like free form exploration, but then when night falls, you go into these special areas to do the ZA
yeah, these are some
Royale,
tough
where
matches.
you're, like, fighting a bunch of trainers, and I'll talk more about
I'll
that
pour
in
back
a
to
second
that
here. But yeah, the real-time element, it really is interesting. I really think it adds an interesting element to the game. The days are long enough that I don't really feel like pressed for time. You know, I don't feel
1-2 tonight.
I don't
Shit.
feel like I'm going to be interrupted when night falls, and yet having that limitation, knowing that it's coming, I like it. It kind of like, it forces me to not do any one thing forever. It kind of like, it forces a little bit of variety into the experience, but very gently, very softly, like pretty much when I would be reaching the point where like I'm bored just running around doing stuff and I want to go fight some trainers. Like, I don't know, it feels like a really good balance to me. And, you know, and there is a real limitation when you are doing the ẓ5 Royale. You know, the nights are probably not as long as the days are. I haven't like measured it or anything, but like there is an element there where you might not be able to do everything and collect everything and beat every trainer, but it's like that's kind of in a fun way. You know, it's that's like a day in Pikmin where there's enough time to do everything you need, but it's just limited enough that it kind of presses you to like try to do as well.
We left games going into night and forcing you through an annoying cutscene. Didn't we leave that behind in the 80s with Castlevania 2? Oh, what a terrible night to have a curse.
You can kind of set your own goals, you know? And then, yeah, just kind of having all of these things limited and kind of switching back and forth, it lends a certain weight to your actions. I don't know if I could use the word realism, but I mean, but kind of, yeah, like having it real time, it's a little bit of realism or immersion. I don't know, it makes the days feel like days. You know, does this make any sense at all? I don't know.
No.
It does something for the feel of the game that I really appreciate. You don't have a limited number of days to do what you need to do. You know, you're not going to like miss out on anything if you're not fast enough. But it adds just enough of a structure to the experience. One thing I'm really interested to see more of, the game kind of introduces this idea that like, oh, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and then night falls, then like suddenly you may find yourself in the middle of this scary area where all the trainers want to fight you, and I haven't really like experienced that yet myself. I don't know how much of a thing that is going to be. I could imagine that like, yeah, if you're in the wrong spot and you know the trainers, when they see you, you gotta fight them. So like if you're not healed up properly, that could be a thing. But yeah, it hasn't really like happened to me yet, so I'm interested to see if that ends up being a thing at all. So let's talk gameplay. It is kind of hard
this long to talk about the gameplay?
Where to begin, but at the same time, I should probably keep all of my many thoughts to myself, kind of save the full discussion for the full review, kind of just touch
this
on
isn't
it
even
here,
the full review,
but like, I don't know.
Man, we're gonna milk the fuck out of this game.
It's always valid to criticize Pokemon. It is. Like, it really is, you know? This game's got problems. You got problems. Like, that's cool. But, like, I really do think a lot of people are overlooking how dramatically this game is evolving the formula. I really honestly do believe that this game, gameplay-wise, represents the single biggest innovation that we have ever seen in the mainline Pokemon series. There has
game with
never
one
been
city?
a bigger
No, it doesn't mean it like that.
shift in how the game works than right now with the introduction of these real-time battles. And it's not just the battles is the thing. Really, the whole game is about freedom. You know, like, plenty of games have had your Pokemon, like, follow you around. You know, you can bring them out. And
yeah,
Arceus
the Go,
introduced
Heart
the
Gold and
idea
Soul Silver.
of real-time catching. Just kind of like running around and throwing around, like throwing a Pokeball as though it's, you know, you just hit the button and you physically throw the item. But then, when you got into battles, it was still turn-based.
Thought we were going to lose that one.
Scarlet and Violet introduced the idea of sending out your Pokemon and having them like battle in real time right there on the field, but that was still mostly automatic, so it's not quite there. This is all of those ideas fully realized. Like, this is it. This is something that Pokemon has been building to for a really long time. This is easily
Go for following
the
Pokemon
most
is Yellow Dinger. Yeah, Yellow's up there. My favorite is still going to be Black and White too, even though that one doesn't have following Pokemon.
And intuitive Pokemon gameplay that has ever been. You know, and I'm not gonna claim that turn-based Pokemon is bad or that it should go away forever. If anything, I think it's great that this is kind of like sort of, it's mainline, but it's kind of a spin-off thing. It's kind of its own thing with the active battling. I think that's a really good idea. Keep turn-based in the mainline games, sure. But for me, personally, this is just better. It's just better. It's the strategy of turn-based combat, except I'm doing it on the fly. I'm doing it intuitively. Again, it's such a more fluid and free-form way. It's way more, always talking about like more like the anime. It feels more like if Pokemon were real and I was really a person, just like my Pokemon is in this Pokeball. I throw it and they come out.
You want it to be like the anime.
It's just, yeah, again, the word realistic is funny to use here, but it's kind of what it is. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. I can bring out my Pokemon.
He wants the Pokemon to do their anime cries where they say their name.
Any move. So, like in battle, obviously that's humongous.
I hope they never introduce that.
Targeting the opponent and choosing which move, and it's almost not even worth like going into all the details because it's everything we knew leading up to launch. It's the moves are based on cooldowns now, so like different moves have different cooldowns and different windups, different speeds. So you take all of the regular stats that you would and effects and whatnot from Pokemon moves, but now you're adding this real-time element, so there's just a lot more to consider. And I'm not good at it. I'm really not good. I'm not good
I
at
get doing it to Pikachu, but like not all of them.
Like, it's just fun. To me personally, it's so much more fun. It's the same thing, but more fun. Battles are now so fast. They're thrilling. And that's been one of my biggest problems, like with Pokemon. Turn-based isn't even so bad. It's that it just takes forever. There's so much fluff. We have to wait for too much. It just takes too much waiting. Speed it up. Other turn-based games have realized that you can do turn-based and still have it move at a faster pace. So this it trims off all the waiting, all the fluff. There is no waiting. You're just in it. You're just in it, and you're fighting, and it's just fun. I don't know. So far, there has been less of an emphasis on moving around than I expected. When you're fighting these like rogue mega evolution battles, it matters a lot more because you just have like this one big target and they have these big moves and they're really telegraphed. But like when it's just a couple of small Pokemon on a street corner, they're shooting their moves at each other so fast that I'm constantly on the move, and yet I never dodge anything. So it could just be a thing where I need to be better with my timing. It may matter more later, but yeah, the actual like moving around, I haven't really nailed that down yet. But the rest of it, just like the different moves, it completely affects what moves I'm willing to have. Like I would never do like status effects moves before because I'm
just spam sheer cold over and over.
I just want stuff that does damage, but like now it's great because like my attacks are now cooling down. So yeah, I can get a leer in there. I got a couple seconds, and you want to be able to utilize all of these moves. I don't know. It really changes the experience, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's incredibly, incredibly fun. And it's not just in battle. Like, even if it was just like the ZA Royale stuff, that would be good enough. That would still be pretty great because it really does make that whole thing. It's so fast and fluid and fun. You're running around and you're fighting trainers and you're burning through them super quick, and there's like items all over the place, and there's little like goals that you can meet, knock out Pokemon with a fire type move and you'll get a bonus. Like, I don't know, there's so much energy. It's super fun. But the freedom goes with you everywhere. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Pokemon games have always had like, you gotta like know Rock Smash or Cut or whatever to like get past.
I haven't fought the skeleton
obstacle.
team yet.
You gotta like go in the menu and select it or whatever. And then in Arceus, it had kind of the same idea where there's like, there's like trees to knock down fruit from and rocks to break, but the Pokemon would do it automatically. Well, now again, you take all of these ideas and they have been fully realized. Now it's, hey, there are some rocks. Okay, you have a Pokemon with Rock Smash. Okay, well, you bring out that Pokemon. You select, you target the rock, and you select Rock Smash. So again, it's like if Pokemon were real. It's like the anime. I bring out my guy, and I say, hey, do Rock Smash on that thing. And it's like,
Disney tried to break the rock with like tackle.
Difference mechanically.
Wouldn't it be more realistic if tackle could break the rock instead of just Rock Smash and only Rock Smash? It makes it more gamey that the move specifically called Rock Smash is the only move that can break rocks.
World, I don't know. It's just the freedom to just bring out any Pokemon and do any move on anything, even if this game isn't exploring the idea really, really deeply. it's hard not to see the potential. It's hard not to see this as like, ooh, like this, like they really tapped into something here. This is the beginning of something good. If they keep building this into bigger experiences, I can only imagine
rocks?
how
Monday,
amazing
Matt.
it could be when you do break back out of the city and put this out in a bigger world, and there's more stuff to interact with your Pokemon moves, you know? So, to summarize, I have not played Pokemon Legends ZA for that long yet, but based on what I've seen, I can tell that it is not a huge game. It is really not a grand Pokemon adventure.
It's not a
nor
holiday
is it
seller,
a
man.
surprising game. And yet, because of the gameplay, because of the ways that it takes these long-standing ideas and
He hates
really
it.
starts to bring them to
He thinks it's just
a place
okay.
that feels a lot more fully developed and realized, it's fun. It's so much fun. I'm having a tremendous amount of fun with the game so far. In ways, the game feels very modest. It could have been bigger and grander, sure, but it also simultaneously feels like the bright future of Pokemon.
It's like DSP knock.
It really feels
You can say
like
the sky's
we're at the
blue,
beginning of
but
something
talk
special
about that,
here. But we'll see.
being
We'll
the
see
case
if-
for an
if
hour
this
makes you want to
formula
disagree with
holds up
them.
for the course of an entire game. Don't know. Still pretty early on, but I am excited to play more. Let me know what you think about Pokemon Legends ZA down in the comments if you feel so inclined. And
He's engagement baiting.
I love you.
What? He's gay. What male? All right, I'm gonna go back in time. We're gonna rewind a little bit. I said we were gonna do this in reverse. Now I want to hear what he thought about the game before it actually came out. This is his last minute hope and cope about the game. Back when he thought there was like something still hiding under the hood for it. He just get into a position where I'm able to load that up. Come on, come on, come on. What you got? What you got? Ah, fuck, behind me.
Hello, my lovely friends. I know I am late to do this. At the time of this recording, the game comes out tomorrow night. I generally like to do this kind of thing a little bit earlier, but whatever. I thought I'd still hit you with my last-minute hopes and dreams for Pokemon Legends
Hopes and copes.
ZA. These are not really in any particular order. I'll just start going down the list. First, I really loved Arceus. I really loved the big emphasis on catching. It was just incredibly fun to run around all over the place, throw Pokeballs all around, to just catch huge masses of Pokemon, and there were all these like rewards and stuff for doing it. It was really satisfying, and I know that this game puts less of an emphasis on catching. I know this one is more about battling, and I mean that seems to be like the consensus just all around. Like Arceus was about catching, exploring, that kind of stuff, and then ZA is more the battling. Battling was not...
Well, the emphasis was on catching because it took place in the past and no one had developed the proper Pokédex yet or something.
as important in Arceus. That's kind of the focus here. But even though I know that that is true, I hope that it's still good to catch. I still want there to be a lot of reasons to do it. You know, I want the rewards for it to be really good. Like, I still think that it's such a fun part of the experience. I want it to still feel really worth doing, even if it's not as big of a thing.
Hey, Carl.
I still hope that it's a decent thing.
Yeah,
I don't
short
know,
Saturday.
I really liked it a lot.
Finally catching up with
so that was
Arlo.
First thing.
I haven't watched him in
And
weeks.
then-
Don't complain.
Okay, so
You get
kind
it?
of the weird thing about this right here is that like the reviews are out, like the embargo has lifted, so
It's him
people have
talking about
already
Pokemon.
posted reviews, and technically speaking,
Whoa,
there could still be
Big
stuff
Carl
about this
with the
game
5
that
haul.
Nintendo insisted people weren't allowed to talk
That's the
about.
most you can get in a day.
So there still could be secrets or whatever. It still could be that reviews don't tell us.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The one more thing, the big secret that the game is hiding.
Posted reviews, and technically speaking, there could still be stuff about this game that Nintendo insisted people weren't allowed to talk about. So there still could be secrets or whatever. It still could be that reviews don't tell us everything about the game. And I know, but I don't know. But I haven't really been reading a lot of in-depth reviews.
The review embargo could have been held. They could have been hiding a major mechanic.
There are probably leaks.
How does that benefit the marketing for the game, though, to hide that?
Spoilers. So, I think at this point it's pretty safe to assume, as I talked about in a previous video, that what we see in the trailers is what we get. There's not really a lot about this game that that will surprise us, I think.
Every trailer for the game was the same.
But this is a hopes video, so I still have to just hope that we get some of the things that I have been hoping for this whole time. Just like a few more substantial wild areas. Just like a couple, you know? Like,
did they deliver on that? How many wild areas are there in the final game?
There'll be I went on the whole spiel before, but like there'll be at least like one park, at least one decent
20? Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Kind of area, sort of thing. Just like some. I know it's not going to be a lot, but something a little bit more akin to like a real park that feels a little bit more open,
He wanted
little bit more
parks.
natural.
Where are the parks in my
suitable
fucking city?
environment for catching Pokemon. I'm fine catching them in gutters and what.
Where's my trees in my urban jungle?
That does seem to be most of this, or in like it's a little grassy. There's like some trees here. Okay, sure, it's a little courtyard, but. Just give me some. Just give me like just a couple more substantial wild areas, even if it's just a couple. I'd be okay with that.
Does he think the city is based off like New York or Paris?
It is my hope. We're talking about my hopes. And then, of course, again, as just been talking about endlessly, something that they haven't revealed yet. Some fun little secret, some kind of place to be or thing to do that is a little bit more
Specify what you would have wanted, though.
Than just the city streets. Obviously, catacombs. That's the thing. That's the thing we keep hoping for. I know that even when I did put out that video that I did talking about how I think what we see in the trailers is what we're getting, we're probably not going to get anything bigger than that. There were some people saying that there were some screenshots going around that kind of did look like they were in sort of a sewer sort of area,
they're hiding the sewer area.
About it, so it sounds like maybe there is something to do with the sewers. I don't really know, but obviously something big, a bigger sewer system or the catacombs or something would be really cool, even if it's just like at the end, even if it's like the last area that you unlock or something. It would be so cool, and like it would be such a wasted opportunity
to be like Tears of the
set
Kingdom.
a game in a city like this and not utilize
even though the depths in Tears of the Kingdom had nothing in it.
You possibly can. It's Paris. Like, do the cat, whatever. Already did all that. But yeah, again, there's another hope. Not getting my hopes up. The hope is not up. It is here with me. It is medium, or is that down?
I think the explanation, D-Cyph, in the game is that they just want to, like, they want to co-inhabit. I don't know what's the word. They just want to live with the Pokemon. But I think that's just to mask Game Freak's laziness of just putting the Pokemon there in the buildings awkwardly, and not making like dedicated spaces for them.
I don't know, but it's right here.
Yeah, coexist.
What's next?
Thank you, Tronic. Hello, Tronic.
The boss battles. You know, I got to play the demo, or a couple of demos, at PAX, and it was.
Oh yeah, we know you went to PAX.
Fun. And I mean, I loved the boss battles in Arceus. I think the battle system here is awesome. I think it's going to be even more fun. So I just gotta hope for a lot of them, you know. And I think there probably will be, because in Arceus you had like your main. These were like the legendary protectors of their respective areas, and there were like 5 or 6 of them or something. They were like the main bosses of the games. It looks like there are probably more here.
Was 2020
Pokemon that are suffering from some sort of like rogue mega evolution affliction or something.
I didn't know it was an old video.
It does look like they're kind of setting the stage for something that can happen a lot more often. I don't know for sure though. So yeah, that is my hope, that this isn't just like 5, 6, 7 of these like main story things. I'd like a lot of them just because they're cool, and we have seen a good amount of them in the trailers, So let's do more. Let's do a bunch. It's just fun. The battling in this game is just super duper fun. So give me a good amount of those. Here's a silly one. Generally, we like our games to have a lot of content, you know? Especially with Pokemon, if you're gonna cheap out on the visuals and the graphics and all that stuff, you're gonna rush this game out, then like, you know, at least give us a lot of content. You know, you could say that about Arceus. It was big. I played that game for like 150 hours or something. Like, I loved it. I played it so much. And even like Sword and Shield, or not Sword and Shield, Violet and Scarlet. You know,
He's having a brain fuse.
Really
brain fuse alert.
But if you enjoyed playing it,
he's old.
You could still get just so much playtime out of it. So I should want that again.
He's an old man playing children's games.
I don't got that kind of time. So what I'm hoping for is that the content is there. If you want it, people can get a lot out of it if they want. But like, I don't know, like the main bulk of the content.
Online mode's pretty addicted.
Like
That's good to hear.
I want to be able to get through the
Ranked
story.
Pokemon is usually ass.
Not too
in
long.
my experience.
I don't want to have
limited
to play
experience.
It for 100 hours to get through all the story. And yeah, that was the thing about Arceus. It was like there was the game, but then there was like a really big post game that really had its own whole entire arc and led to its own separate final battle and everything. Like it was just, there was a lot to it, a lot of like layers, and I'm kind of hoping now, can I get through the bulk of it? Maybe a couple dozen at the most. Even that, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can swing that.
This bubbler guy's a king.
Yeah, not too long. And then on the topic of story, of course, I hope for a good story, and I think it probably will. I have enjoyed the story of the last couple of Pokemon games. You know, I
what
did
story?
Not like the story in Sword and Shield. At the same time, there wasn't a story, really. There just kind of wasn't one. That was my problem with it. But I really liked the story in Scarlet and Violet. I thought it was really fun. The story in Arceus was really good. And so I have no doubt that the story will be enjoyable, but I think because the scope of the game is so different from Arceus, it really does feel a lot more confined. Gameplay-wise, I think confining the game to a city will, you know, kind of introduce its own new elements, and it'll have its own positives. But there is an element here where it's like, all right, well, Arceus was like a big, grand adventure, and this kind of like the scope seems a lot smaller. I feel like the story is gonna matter a lot more. So while I'm sure it'll be fine, I guess I just hope they really go at it hard, you know? I'm hoping for like a really good story. Like, make me not regret that we are here in a city and it's got a bunch of people.
Thank you for the currency exchange, Silent Assassin.
That idea.
I'm sorry, I'm going gamer mode right now.
Humongous cast of
they're
characters.
coming back.
Like, yeah, every time they do a trailer, it's just like this guy, this girl, here and there. There's these and there's this organization and there's these friends.
You know what was the big secret that they didn't reveal until the final release? That pink-haired chocolate waifu that people are posting, and the new VTuber one. They didn't reveal those until release. And the himbo guy.
There do seem to be a lot, so I'm just hoping for good things there. Only a couple more. I do recognize my privilege as a Switch 2 owner. You know, like, I'm gonna play the game.
Oh, not Leon.
Guaranteed.
Ivor.
It's already been verified. I played the demo myself at that thing. Runs great on Switch 2. Doesn't look super good artistically, but the resolution is really high. Frame rate's really good. So like it runs really well. It's easy to forget completely that this is a Switch 1 game as well. You know, like even reading reviews, they're all for the Switch 2 version. So like, I even though I don't have to deal with it, I really hope it runs well on Switch 1. I hope so. I think that
well, does it?
Because
did anyone play it on Switch 1?
There were elements of Arceus that were a little bit plain, you know, like the landscape and whatnot. It didn't look as good as something like, you know, Breath of the Wild or whatever, but like it ran a heck of a lot better than Scarlet and Violet. I think that game really didn't run too poorly at all. It didn't have frame rate issues that were as bad as Scarlet and Violet.
Iono, she was a streamer, so is she? Iono, in the case of this terminology of this sector, Iono would be a flesh tuber. She'd be like the IRL streamer or whatever, the e-girl. So if she wasn't a VTuber, Canary, she would be the VTuber. Because it was, I don't know too much about the game, but there's like a quest where it's revealed that like her grandpa plays her at like events so that she can play video games at the house.
So yeah, the game could have looked better, but I feel like it ran okay. And here, the environments, again, it's even more limited.
That's just a reference to people like yours truly, who use female avatars, but they're actually male. But at least I don't hide it. I'm not LARPing as the shy gal. Everyone knows I'm actually the shy guy in the booba.
You don't have these grand vistas, and from what we've seen of the footage when they first revealed the game, but before they revealed the Switch 2 version, it seemed like it ran fine. So, like, I think I'm feeling hopeful that it will probably run fine. Not great, but not bad or anything like that. But I do still think it's worth having a slot here in my hopes list, that it will run well. Like, we don't want to...
Male streamers have it hard. You're either a Babaniku or a Chokonoko.
Surprises. We don't want it to be like, well, they didn't care about the Switch version. They prioritized Switch 2, so they just like, whatever, and it runs like trash. I don't think it's likely, but I really do hope that for anyone playing on Switch 1, that you still get a pretty good experience. You know, I think you deserve it. You know, part of me is wondering, like, it'd be nice to do videos comparing them. I'd like to do an
Switch 1 people will get a buy experience.
But how do you
it's
do
called
that?
the free version.
Switch 1, because then I'm starting the game on Switch 1. I don't want to do that. I want to like play the game in the beginning.
High-rated version.
Can you revert back? Can you, like, if you take the game and it's a Switch 2 version, but then you like game key, you know, like, or the whatever, like the virtual card thing, if you like send it back to your Switch 1, will it then just revert to the Switch 1 version? I need to find that out. If anybody knows, has an answer there, let me know.
I think it does actually work like that. Really whatever he's describing.
I can just do that and then do an impressions video after the fact. Anyway, though, I have one more hope.
I think what it is if you buy a Switch 2 edition of a game, like say Breath of the Wild, you put it in the Switch 1, it will recognize it and it will play, but it will play the Switch 1 version. And then if you put it in the Switch 2, it plays the Switch 2 version. Of course, now he's bringing it up to like the virtual game card and shit, like, and I think in that case, even if it's digital, it'll still let you play on a Switch 1. If the Switch 2 lends the virtual cart to a Switch 1 and the Switch 1 person plays it, it still has the data to recognize this is the Switch 1 experience and then just loads that up instead. That's pretty nice, you know. Nintendo probably would have just made you buy the game again, right? Instead, they're able to let you do that, play it that way.
I have one more hope for Pokemon Legends ZA, and it's that Feraligatr gets a good new Mega Evolution. I think,
you might be disappointed.
I loved how in Arceus the starters got like basically new versions of the final evolution. Like,
where our Colosian forms at?
Versions or whatever. I think that was fun. I was sad to see that wasn't necessarily going to happen here, but I am sure that they're at least going to get new Megas. Because yeah, that's the thing about Feraligatr. Feraligatr is kind of ugly. I don't really like Feraligatr that much, but and I know that I'm gonna get a Feraligatr. I'm gonna evolve it. I'm not gonna pull a Pikachu Ash here. I'm gonna let it evolve. I'm gonna spend most of the game with this final form, and that should affect my decision of which starter I pick. And yet, Totodile is just that good that I cannot pick it. I can't not pick it. I just can't.
Most people think like that.
Totodile, it's like a top 10 Pokemon. So like I'm gonna pick Totodile. So at the very least,
how'd I survive that? What the fuck?
Feraligatr gets a good. Again, probably it's all been leaked by now. It's probably out there, and I could look it up and make sure.
Hey Coggers, we can watch the direct video next. I mean, I am catching up on him because it's been weeks. So I went through him talking about the Pikmin update and now his Pokemon videos.
Was the fun. I think one of the fun things about Pokemon, especially with like a new one, is just kind of grabbing whatever and seeing what happens.
Pick whichever Pokemon is the hottest. You're not tricking me into answering that question. Oh yeah, that means, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why you always go with Gardevoir. Nah, nice try. I'm not giving you any information about which Pokemon I think are visually appealing. I don't even like the female-looking Pokemon. I like the cool, wacky, weird-looking ones. The best Pokemon is, of course, Shuckle.
That's part of the experience. You gotta live with what you get. So here's hoping for a good one. I know often with these megas they kind of address previous issues, like with Dragonite. One of the weird things about Dragonite was that
no, Vosh wouldn't want to fuck the Ponyta. He'd burn his dick off.
Was that Dratini and Dragonair look a certain way, and then Dragonite kind of doesn't properly follow the theming. It kind of becomes its own new like thing. It's like Puff the Magic Dragon or whatever. And so
that's why you always answer Lilligant. They're 100% female. That's why Phil always answers Miltank.
Oh, the new Mega is like them kind of rectifying that. So I don't know if like I don't know how popular the idea is that Feraligatr is a disappointing and ugly final evolution of Totodile. I want to say that's pretty popular. So is that the kind of thing that they would address? And they give
Isn't that what really people say about Chikorita?
I don't really know, but yeah, that is one of my hopes.
Big ups ꞩ👑🝼❼. The 2 months at tier 1 for 4 months. The correct answer is Mr. Mime. What's weird is they came up with Mr. Mime's English name before they introduced gender, so you can have female Mr. Mime. Those guys are Otokonokos. And then what's weirder is in Gen 8, they did Galarian Mr. Mime, and then you can evolve it to Mr. Rhyme, and that was like after they introduced gender, but they still called it Mr. Rhyme, so you can have female Mr. Rhyme, and it's based off like Charlie Chaplin and shit.
Feraligatr deserves it. And you know what? Feraligatr,
thank you for the re-up, dude.
I think I can't remember if it was just a stylistic thing or if it's because they just didn't have enough room. I always assumed it was because they didn't have enough room for the letters. But like
it is
not
because of
having
that.
E between the T and the R.
Wait. This is oh my god, I thought it was a joke. I said it was a joke in that last video we watched, the little intro. I thought that was just his opening bit. He doesn't know English.
Just for letters, but like not having that E between the T and the R, it just Feraligatr, it goes straight into the R. I mean, they were kind of ahead of their time because that was a very like Web 2.0 kind of thing, but like they'll just have like a big E. the Mega will just have like a big E on its chest. The missing E that you robbed Feraligatr of. That'd be funny. So those are my last-minute hopes for Pokemon Legends.
He said that multiple times and never caught himself?
We'll inevitably think of more right after posting this video, but whatever. We at least got some.
What the fuck? Malcolm X Square, big ups. That's weird because Sesame Street puppets are usually good at words. Arlo, what's the letter of the day? I guess it's E.
Game comes out tomorrow.
You must have misplaced your letters. It was supposed to be really as the letter of the day, Arlo.
I was a lot of last month, and I think my throat and my voice is still kind of recovering. It's kind of it's a little scary.
He's complaining.
It's even now like doing.
I gotta work, but I'm so sick, guys. I can't put out the video.
I have to go easy on it, so I'm not 100% sure yet if I'll be able to stream. If I do, I'll probably have to, in PRLO mode about it. But I hope to. I think it would be incredibly fun. I've never streamed a Pokemon game before, and every time I play a new Pokemon game, I always end up having like just all these fun little stories and wishing I could have shared it with someone, wishing I had captured it. So it would be really, really awesome to stream the game, but we will see. I love you. Have a good day.
Why does he keep ending the videos with how much he loves us? I don't know you like that. Alright, but that's his experience with Pokemon. Let's listen from someone who didn't think so much of Pokemon. And then I guess we can go back to Arlo talking about the Kirby thing. But just to keep it in line with Pokemon, we're gonna have a mini break from Arlo for a moment. This is someone who didn't like the new Pokemon.
Pokemon Legends ZA has finally released, and it
sucks! No, Amran, the vertical surfaces don't count, only the ground. It's been like that since the first game.
Worth it? Is it worth being the most expensive Pokemon game ever made? Well, I pushed myself to finish the game, and I can say pretty confidently, no, obviously not. We all knew it wouldn't be. Game Freak can't make a game worth $40, let alone the $550, yes, the number keeps going up, that the game actually costs to get the complete product. And even ignoring the price, the game is a disappointment in so many ways.
I think you have those names swapped around, Corono. Or maybe you don't. Hello.
So funny hearing people speculate. Sure, the game only takes place in one city, but this is France we're talking about, which has catacombs, so I bet there's a huge underground area like Tears of the Kingdom. Underground area? You can't even go in the buildings in a city. You're expecting above and beyond when Game Freak can't even do the bare minimum. Game Freak's motto is to underpromise and still underdeliver.
Who is this? Why does he sound like Matt Pat at home? This is the brother of Synthetic Man, the actual, factual, literal brother, Lord Frogmire. Synthetic Man said he's not going to put up Pokemon videos, so we got to listen to this guy. He actually is a really, really big Pokemon fan, at least of old Pokemon, and he's always supportive of Pokemon fan games and ROM hacks over, like, actually playing the mainline official stuff. So, like, you know, that's cool.
Deliver a small map taking place in a single location with no variety in that one area isn't even complete. I don't consider a
this is a complete 180 from Arlo's opinion.
In the buildings. But enough of that. I'm skipping ahead a bit. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the world. I just want to illustrate to you that this is prevalent throughout the entire game. It's something that you already expect to be kind of underwhelming, and it's somehow worse than that. Not that the game's all bad. I mean, just look at this Mareep. Look at him jump around. Doesn't it bring you joy? It just makes me smile. And they did try a new combat system, and Game Freak hasn't tried something new in decades. So you gotta at least give them some props for that. And the collect them all aspect has been greatly improved. You no longer have to catch 700 Starly to complete the Pokédex, which makes collecting them all something actually fun and interesting to do. That's all I got for the positives. If you were expecting a unbiased review or really go over the pros and the cons, you came to the wrong place. Maybe if the game was $40 and DLC wasn't announced before the game even came out. If you didn't need Nintendo Online and were forced to play a ranked mode that I promise you will be terrible to unlock content that is already in the game,
it was fun.
Maybe I'd be a little more charitable. Believe it or not, I wanted to like this game. I love Pokemon. I've played every Pokemon game, and I've really only disliked one of them. In as much as the money-grubbing stuff bothers me, I didn't really interact with any of it.
Which one did he dislike?
The DLC. I played the Switch 1 version of the game, and I don't have Nintendo Online. So I gave it a real honest try to like it, and I did at first. But the more I played the game, the more I grew to hate it. The more tired I am of being disappointed by...
The Fizzbang is an optional grenade item that is only available during these events that I'm doing, these quarterly events. It's like an extra item you get in the matches, and you earn more by defeating your opponents. It just works as like an additional side weapon, or sub-weapon rather.
Everything Game Freak makes, from a lack of ambition, from a lack of effort, it's just lacking. Everything they make is lacking. Every time you make a video criticizing Nintendo or Pokemon, there are always people being like, oh, it's the Nintendo fanboys, the Pokemon fanboys, they're gonna get you. These aren't fans. A fan of something loves it. If you love Pokemon, why are you okay with it being dumpstered on constantly? I'm sick and tired.
This guy and Nintendo would have a good conversation about Nintendo, I bet.
Like it's made by some small indie company while they charge us as much as they possibly can for what is supposed to be a spin-off. $70 game, $30 DLC, $20 Switch Online, $450 console just to play the full game and have it run properly. But that's enough preamble. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and it's time to give you 10,000 reasons why this game isn't worth $70, it's not worth $80, and it's definitely not worth $500 to get the full experience. In fact, by the end of this, I'd be surprised if you wanted to play it for free.
Nintendo wouldn't talk to Synthetic Man or his brother anyway. He just called him racist. Or he wouldn't want to be associated with that smoke.
Let's talk about the world first. Something that people are rightfully concerned about, that the entire map is just one city. And all of your fears have been realized. And probably worse, because it's a city where all the doors are painted on. Aside from a handful of story locations and some battle cafes, which are basically empty, you cannot enter any buildings. Not even...
If GTA 6 doesn't let you enter every single building, I'm gonna need the names of every Indian that worked on it.
Stores. You remember every other video game ever made? You enter a store, you talk to the counter, you buy some stuff, a couple NPCs are around, maybe they have useful information, maybe give you an item, maybe add a little flavor to the world. Nope, nothing. You get a menu. Modeling the inside of a building is far too much effort in a game that has one location. One! The game released over a decade ago with an entire region has a more believable city than the game that is only about this city. And I don't know what people were smoking to think the game would have catacombs. You get 2 underground areas. 2, which are just a series of hallways. Maybe it has some engaging puzzles, maybe platforming challenges, maybe a bunch of dangerous wild
platforming
Pokemon
challenges.
you have to dodge past. No, nothing. A series of hallways you run through.
Series of hallways is what I expect from Game Freak.
Everyone was so excited about. It's just a sewer, you know, where this game belongs. So given the entire world is just the surface of one city, not including
it's like I thought there was no jump button in this game.
Any of the buildings, what could possibly make exploring this world interesting? Nothing. The answer is nothing. They have done nothing to add variety to a single location. The city rooftops you explore from the beginning of the game is exactly the same as the one you're doing at the very end. There is no meaningful difference through any of it. You don't even get new movement abilities. You get one. You know, in the last game,
you could fly,
you could climb, you do all this cool stuff. Now, you get one mid-air jump, and you can only do it while falling. So it's not even like a double jump. That's it. So the whole game is just this, what you're seeing right now. Do you see what I'm saying? When the game is interesting for 3 hours, maybe, and then it gets real old real fast. But of course, the variety comes from the wild areas. The wild areas are sectioned off city blocks or parks where wild Pokemon can be caught and attack you. Actually, they can do that through the rest of the city too, but they're more common here. So surely there must be some variety there. No, there isn't. It's just more city blocks or a small park. That's the entire variety. The most different it gets is one wild area, just one, has some snow. Isn't that exciting? A regular game has you going from snowy mountaintop to swamp to cave to forest.
Kind of wild he's using Scarlet and Violet B-roll.
Rooftop. That's the
considering how much he hated that game too.
20 hours. Park, rooftop, one sewer section. It's a joke. So the world itself is boring, but who cares? What about the things that you do in that world? Maybe that's cool. Of course not. You have your Ubisoft collectibles, like screws that you get for completing platforming challenges, and I'm using the term platforming really loosely, which you can use to get an EXP boost, maybe get resources faster, catch Pokemon easier, because the game wasn't easy enough already. You also have crystals all over that you have to make your Pokemon use moves on them to break them, which slows down the pacing of the game, because you need to collect a whole lot of them to get some of the Mega Stones. I guess finding TMs is pretty cool, but in order for the finding to be fun, the exploring has to be fun, which exploring the exact same copy-pasted rooftop 500 times is not fun. And the funny thing is, I could forgive all of this if at least moving around was fun. But no, you get nothing. No bike, no roller skates, remember those? No riding Pokemon, nothing. Just
I kind of hated X and Y after he gave you the roller skates.
Run around, and the worst double jump you've ever seen. Scarlet and Violet could get away with having a...
But I still liked it overall.
A barren, empty world, because at least it was fun to move around. You could run real fast and jump real high and fly. It was fun to move around. Here you get nothing, because if they gave you anything, you'd realize how small,
I wonder if they put it in a city so the game wouldn't have to run their stuff far away, thus making the game run better. People claim the city was just loaded as one big model, but this turns out that was just a lie. That was just a cutscene version of the city model used for the intro. But people believed it anyway and spread misinformation deliberately.
Interesting and lame the world is. I mean, how could you have all these platforming challenges if you could jump and fly? Who wants to climb buildings? It's not like that's been in every game ever. All right, so it's not fun to explore, not really anything cool to find. What about the side quests? Well, the game has a ton of side quests, at least 100, maybe more. But unsurprisingly, when there's that many of them, they're real bad. They're about as lazy as they could possibly get. There are only 3 side quests. It's Battle Guy, Go Walk Over There, or Show Me Pokemon. And because it's a Game Freak, it is much worse than it sounds. It's watch a cutscene, Battle Guy, who has 3 Clefairy that know only Metronome, so it's impossible to lose, then watch another cutscene and get rewarded with basically nothing. And that's about half, maybe half.
It was a meaningful side quest story, though.
1 Pokemon, maybe 2, impossible to lose, and get rewarded with nothing. It's money, which is worthless in this game. You get an insane amount of it, or it's a TM you don't need, or it's berries. End game missions. In fact, some of these side quests are post-game, and you get berries as the reward. And these are the better side quests. How about watch a cutscene, follow the Pokemon, watch another cutscene, follow them again, watch another cutscene, follow them again. And it's not like you're doing anything, you're just walking there. Maybe there's a jump, which all culminates into a battle with a singular wild Pokemon. Isn't that incredible? And these are multiple. There are multiple
More than you can
side
expect
quests
from
that are
Game Freak.
just this. And then finally, a bunch of missions that are just, hey, do you have every color of Floette? Cool. Good job. Thumbs up. And I'd say those 3 things are like 90% of the side missions. And everything in between isn't better, it's worse. Like, how about just use a move on this stationary object? Good job. You did it. That was worth the multiple cutscenes. I keep emphasizing the cutscene part because these honestly wouldn't be that egregious if it wasn't for the constant pausing. You get 30 seconds of gameplay where you completely obliterate them and then 2 minutes of pauses. The best side quest
People
is
want
what I did
voice
in the
acting
very
in these
beginning,
games?
and it's just a go walk over there.
But look how it
quest.
works in
But at least
execution.
it's
This guy
a
wants the
sort of
characters to
hidden
shut the
area.
fuck
And
up.
as a reward, you get a shiny Mareep, and I love Mareep. That's the bar, by the way. The bar the rest of the quests can't meet. The expectations, they were just so low, and yet somehow too high. And that's the game world. Boring, lacks variety, nothing to see or find, not fun to traverse, and it's everything you should have expected and worse. Now, before we get to the gameplay, I want to talk about the story just a little bit. No spoilers yet. Not that the game really has a story to spoil, but if you really don't want to hear anything about it, use the timestamps to skip this section. Now, you're part of a crew of a couple dweebos, and the leader of your crew is in debt to a loan shark, and I'm talking a real loan shark. Your team leader likes to help people out around the city, helped one of the loan sharks, and as a reward, she got offered a loan to make a video advertisement for the hotel you guys stay at. And in the hidden fine print, they specifically say it's tiny text she could not read. It has an insane interest rate where this 100,000 Poké-Dollar loan accrued 1 million Poké-Dollars in interest over the course of a couple days.
Is that
Not
really the
years,
plot?
Days. So you go to the loan sharks because you got to help your
for the
friend
25
out,
stream
and
streak,
they put
Halligan.
you into indentured servitude. You have to
That's kinda
do
base,
their
though.
bidding to pay off not the loan, just the interest, and it's potentially forever. They make it clear that you might have to work for them forever. It's however long they want you to work. So
Now the humans are indentured servants rather than the Pokemon. Isn't it kind of flipping the script? It's almost poetic in a way.
in this Pokemon game, there are creditors who enslave you through predatory loans, and guess what? They're the good guys! Yes, the predatory loan sharks are good guys! The heroes of the game. How, you ask? Well, of course, the indentured servitude, the literal slavery, because you are not paid, and it is not clear when, if ever, the debt would ever be repaid, is actually community service. things. They're making you do good things. Can we talk about for just a second how insane this is? That this is actual propaganda? That they're trying to sell creditors, the most evil people on the planet, who would drown you in the liquefied remains of your entire family for 4 cents? That tricking and then enslaving someone over a mountain of debt is righteous because they're doing it for the right reasons. I know I say Nintendo is evil, and it's a bit of an exaggeration, a good YouTube thumbnail. This is actually evil. An innumerable number of human lives have been destroyed under the weight of debt and interest, and they're teaching children. This is a children's
Okay, but most of those are like liberals under student debt, and we don't like those guys.
I know you lost your house and you're living on the street now, but that investment banker really needed that 10% so that he could make the city a better place. When I said I was going to teach the kids about the Federal
Well, doesn't the game
Reserve,
have commentary about how these guys are in the wrong?
Guys! Anyway, I just think it's a bit silly that the giant evil mega corporation is trying to teach our children that debt collectors are good and that tricking someone into going into debt is super cool and fun. Now for the slightly bigger spoilers. Not that I'm spoiling anything that happens. Is it even a spoiler to say what doesn't happen? The whole plot of the game is, ooh, rogue mega evolution, and ooh, wild Pokemon going crazy. And there's a mega corporation that's setting up the wild zones to keep in all of these wild Pokemon. And they're in control of Lumiose Tower, which no one can enter and is emitting strange energy. And as a player, you're immediately like, oh, they're evil, right? The mega corporation controls everything, creates wild areas throughout the city where you take an apartment complex and a small business, and it is now surrounded by dangerous Pokemon that attack you on sight. You now have to fight for your life just to go home. So clearly these guys must be evil, right? Nope.
Mr. Arlo talking about Pokemon and the confusing Pikmin update. And now this guy is talking about Pokemon.
They're not evil either. Nobody's evil. The game does not have an evil team, doesn't even have any bad guys. There are no villains in this game. This is what I'm talking about, where I'm saying the game might as well not have a story. The villain of the game, if you call it that, is just big old guy made a defense structure for the evil team back in Gen 6, and now it's going crazy. So you have to go stop it. That's it. No evil team, no grand plan, no ideals fighting against each other, nothing. Everyone's a good guy. Riveting. I just don't see why Nintendo and Game Freak would make the giant mega corporation and debt collectors good guys. Really makes you think, huh? It's funny because they even mock you in the game. There's a crowd of people being like, I know you guys are behind all of the rogue mega evolution. I know you guys are behind this. And you have to fight these people off. And I'm like, surely there must be a twist. Nope, no twist. The big evil mega corporation is a good guy. You will pay $70 for the game. You will pay $30 for the DLC. You will pay $20 for Switch Online, and you will pay.
But didn't we already have the mega corporation, you know, turning out to be evil with Gen 7? Couldn't you just easily say that was just a rehash of Gen 7 if they just went with the expected, oh, the mega corporation turns out to be evil twist?
$450 for the new console. We're the good guys. You're evil for questioning us. Whatever. No more spoilers. Spoiler time over. On to the gameplay. Now, the big selling point of ZA is the real-time combat, and I hate it. I really don't like it. It's not egregious,
hey, Arlo liked
but
it.
It's really just spam all your attacks to win, which wouldn't be too bad, because the animations are pretty cool, but it's just so jank. The real problem is you can't order your Pokemon to move around without using a move, and even then, it's an invisible targeting reticle. So you'll use a move like Surf, which targets the enemy Pokemon, no problem. The attack will always come from and go to exactly where you expect. But then you use a move like Psychic, which actually targets a few feet in front of you, meaning the Pokemon who just surfed through someone now has to run all the way back to you to then start charging the attack. And only once that's done do they finally just attack the enemy. On its own, this makes the combat feel sluggish because it's wait for the move to charge, use the move, wait for your Pokemon to run off somewhere.
The evil was the evil we made along the way.
What's even worse
True.
is fainting because your Pokemon would have won and attacked faster, but decided to do a little run instead. It's not like it matters that much because, again, you're not really losing any of these fights anyway, but it just feels bad when half half the time you're not actually attacking, you're either running around or charging. What makes it worse, and it is something they had to do, is when your Pokemon switch in, they do a big cry. Because you can dodge an attack by switching, so it'd be kind of unfair if you could immediately act after that. But this also occurs when your Pokemon is fainted, meaning you just lost a Pokemon, you throw in a new one, and they immediately get a free hit on you. It's all just intentionally unresponsive.
That's for the difficulty,
I want
though.
to hit the button, and then something happened. I don't care what you have
first
to
the game's
do
too
to make
easy.
that
Now
occur,
it's too
but that's what
hard.
every other game does, and I like it that way. I hit the button, something happens immediately, not later, now. It also doesn't help that the Pokemon can just get stuck on stuff. Using Talonflame was a nightmare. It got stuck on everything, and it just won't attack, because if it can't make it to the other Pokemon, it just won't do anything. Also, your attacks can get stuck on lips. Like a tiny little lip on the ground can block your attack, and now you just did 0 damage and they hit you. I feel like I'm complaining about nothing, though, because Mega Evolution is so OP, none of this matters. One Mega can usually sweep an entire team, because the game has a Mega Bar now. As you deal damage, you get more points in your bar. When it's full, you can Mega Evolve. You can also use points in your bar to use plus moves, which just make your moves do more damage. All Megas only use...
Yeah, I think I would prefer if Pokemon just stick to turn-based, personally.
plus moves, meaning not only
Doesn't mean
get
you
the
can't
huge
streamline it and
stat
make it
boost,
quicker.
but all of your moves deal more damage too. It's insanely overpowered. You can sweep entire teams with just your Mega, and because it's a bar that fills over time, you can Mega multiple times in one fight, and this is a cool part of the game. A big problem with Mega Evolution is Megas are super cool, and I want only Megas, but there's no reason to ever have more than one. But now you can Mega Evolve multiple times. Mega Evolutions are insanely OP, so you're incentivized to have a team of all Megas, which is cool. I like Megas. It's also important to have a team of all Megas for the boss battles. Periodically through the game, you're going to have to fight a rogue Mega, and that means they're giant for some reason and have 1,000,000 health, and they only take real damage from plus moves. And Megas are by far the most efficient way of using plus moves. So you're going to want a Mega that is super effective on the boss, or it's going to take a year. I liked these battles at first, and I slowly grew to hate them more and more as the game went on. At first, it's like, oh, it's cool. I have to like maneuver my Pokemon to try and get them to dodge the moves because they follow you, sorta. But at a certain point, you realize they will never faint your Pokemon. Instead, they target nearly exclusively you. So it's a terrible Dark Souls boss fight where they spam the same move over and
Do you have
over
H?
and
You have your own
over
HP
and
bar?
over again,
I guess I
while
never
your
thought to
Pokemon
ask
does
that.
2 damage to them, and the fight takes an hour, and you
What
can't
happens if they
dodge
just
while
attack
ordering
you
your
over and
Pokemon
over?
around. So if you want to get that little extra damage in, and you take too many hits, you have to start the whole fight over again. Not your Pokemon, you,
I do like
the
Mega Evolution.
trainer, gets hit too many
I don't
times.
care much
You have to
for Z
start the
moves
whole
or
fight
its
over again.
rationalization.
And this is a Pokemon baby game we're talking about. If you just don't attack, and you only focus on dodging, you will never get hit ever. The only reason you lose these fights is because they take so long, and you're trying to speed them up, and because of that, you get hit too many times, and now you have to start over. I never lost a Pokemon battle one time, but my trainer died a bunch of times. It's extremely annoying trying to order your Pokemon around who just run around wherever they want, charge up their moves, really sluggish and annoying, while trying to dodge giant AoE attacks that come from everywhere. I'm just
The
trying
player
to
can
pass
die,
through,
but
dude.
how is
I
that
wanna catch a
calculated?
Bagon. Leave me alone, Salamence. I'm tired of it. I don't like it. It's not fun. I know some people think it's neat, but I'd rather just play Dark Souls if I wanted to play Dark Souls. I play Pokemon.
Oh, that's DSP's
to play
Kirby
Pokemon.
Souls
The Pokemon
argument.
should fight the other Pokemon, not me. Now, maybe this would be more interesting if you had more interesting movement, you know, like roller skates, that thing that Gen 6 was known for. No, you get one dodge. That you
I
can
didn't
use
really care for
sometimes, as long as you're not
roller
ordering
skates
your
in Gen
Pokemon to
6
do
though.
something, which you're doing 99% of the time. Now, you don't actually have to worry about getting hit in the regular Pokemon battles, which is what you'll be doing
Okay, the string
most
gets
of
red.
the time. The actual gameplay loop of the game is at night. You have to battle a bunch of people to rank up in the ZA tournament. You go from Z to A, and every time you want to rank up, you have to do
could
a
just use used
boss
a bicycle
trainer battle.
loop
You know,
for,
like a gym leader.
breeding.
But wow, that's a lot of gym leaders. And you have to battle a bunch of trainers just to get the right to then rank up. Now, you can get these points pretty fast, given you can sneak up in one shot to start a fight with a trainer that probably only has 3 Pokemon to begin with. I already don't like having a bunch of filler battles, but it's pretty pathetic that even at the very end of the game, you're fighting trainers with like 3 Pokemon, and really it's 2 because you're one-shotting the first member of their party before they even get to start. I don't know who thought stealth mechanics in a Pokemon game was a good idea, but either way, that's a lot of gym leaders. Z to A, that's insane. Now, of course, it's a trick. This is a Pokemon game. Remember, under promise and under deliver. Sure, you go from Z to Y, but then you jump from V to F. Yeah, so the vast majority you're just skipping through. The game like tricks you into being like, wow, this game's gonna be pretty long. Nope, sorry. The game really would have a great gameplay loop if it was just a better game where during the day you explore, then at night you fight a bunch of Pokemon battles, and then
The game would be better if it was just better. Oh, now I gotta be better. 10x battle.
conclude the day with a boss battle. And then you do that all the way up until A rank and the game's over. Too bad the exploration sucks because the world is bad. The battling isn't so great either. And I guess they recognize this. That's why you skip most of the letters. And most of the game is, oh, you have a placement match. It's time to fight the boss to rank up to the next letter.
Yeah, I
Now
heard
we have to
about
do
this.
some
This is
story stuff to
bullshit.
go find
You
that
skip
person.
after
It's
rank
weird
B?
'cause it's not like you don't have a bunch of boss trainer battles, because it'll be like, okay, we have to go fight this guy, but first we have to do this boss battle against this trainer. I feel like they originally planned for you having to go through all of the letters, but they realized it'd just be way too much padding, which it wouldn't have to be padding if they didn't make all of the regular trainer fights a joke. I know at this point I'm just complaining to complain, but there's also way too many refights. You will fight a trainer and then have to fight that same trainer again 10 minutes later. It's like, I've trained. It's time for a rematch. I just saw you. Whatever. Enough of the gameplay. It's time to talk about what everyone really cares about, or me, which is the new Megas. And why do they look so bad? What do they do?
Uh-oh.
And why do I kind
Mega
of like them?
critiques.
I don't know why people
He
feel
likes
the
the
need
designs.
to defend garbage. That they'll show a Mega, everyone will be like, wow, that looks really terrible. And then a bunch of people will come out of nowhere and be like, actually, I like it a lot. And now, all of a sudden, that's me. I think I got brain damage. Starmie is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love him. And then I saw the picture of the Mega, and I'm like, this is the worst thing.
Yeah, I talked about this before. People will look at a dog shit design and then sweep for it once a Redditor says, "Oh, it's based on something," and then all the other guys will start becoming noticers and it'll be like, "Oh, it's based on something. It's based on a concept." People thought Mega Starmie was cringe, but then they realized it was based on like Tokusatsu or something.
I've ever seen. Why have they done this to my boy?
Oh my God,
After
it's a
fighting him
hidden
as a boss,
reference!
I'm like, I think I actually love this guy. He's awesome. Just look at him run. Imagine that running at you. Imagine the true fear you would feel. There's just something alluring about it. I don't know. Also, Mega Scrafty, it just speaks to me. He's got a hoodie and it's white. Now, I'm not saying I like them all. In fact, some of them are some of the worst things I've ever seen. Mega Clefable, horrible. Mega Excadrill, look what they did to my boy. How does he move? In Mega Feraligatr is a toilet. They just made him a toilet. Why? But I think the laziest one is Mega Skarmory. I love Skarmory, but they're just like, all right, he's yellow now, and his feet are real big. Can they at least
It's
try
yellow.
like a little bit? Like, come on. Whatever. There'll be some guy who'll be like, that's my favorite. I love the color yellow. I eat
Maybe they made
mustard."
him gold 'cause
man. I think
Skarmory
that's all
was
I got.
silver?
Don't buy this game. It's not good. It's just disappointing. Aren't you tired of disappointments? They
No.
made one pleasant surprise, and they've taken that goodwill and are using it to milk their audience completely dry of all.
I like Mega Scrafty because of the white hood and because it's simple. It reminds me of Mega Kangaskhan, where like the main design doesn't change, but only something else changes about it. Mega Sableye is also a little bit in the same way, where like only a specific aspect about the Mega changes the Pokemon's design. So yeah, it's like Scrafty largely is the same after Mega Evolving. Like the thing that actually Mega Evolved was his shed skin. Just like how Mega Kangaskhan, the thing that actually evolved was the child coming out of the pouch and then attacking with the mom.
all the money they could possibly take for a product that
It's like
is
a
low
thinking outside
effort,
the box
low
kind of situation.
imagination, has no ambition. They tried one new thing and sacrificed everything else for it, and it's
locked
not
in, yeah.
good. Making a Pokemon game, making an open world game that takes
All right,
place
we beat the
in
10X.
one area with no variety was never
my
going
variety?
to be a good idea. It was never going to work. This game was a failure at the planning stages. Exploring one city is already not that interesting, but a city where you can't even go in the buildings with no movement abilities, ignoring the DLC, ignoring the required online, ignoring the $10 upgrade. The game's still not good. It's not worth it. Maybe for $40. And if you skip this part, it'll be confusing, but trying to convince kids that creditors and evil corporations are actually good guys, the game is mocking you for buying it. Now, I haven't discussed performance at all because I played this on Switch 1, which obviously isn't ideal, and my Switch console is really weird, but even with all of that, the game ran perfectly fine. I honestly had no trouble. Being stuck at 30
there you go.
FPS, kind of lame, but I don't really care. Now, I don't think that suddenly makes the game worth buying. It's not impressive to have a game that runs
Need some
without a ton
tricolor.
of glitches and bugs, but it is surprising for a Pokemon game. Anyway, that's the review. Unfortunately, there is no twist at the end. I genuinely was pushing myself to finish this game. Not a fan. Anyway, bye.
We were listening to Synthetic Man's brother tear Pokemon Legends Z-A apart. I'll be honest, I thought he was pretty fair to it. I didn't think he really went too far in the extreme, over-exaggerating, making up fan fiction to shit on the game like Synthetic Man did with Tears of the Kingdom. I think that was a pretty fair, if a little harsh critique from him, but he's like a super mega ultra mega hyper Pokemon fan, so it's like the Giga fans, the Giga fans perspective of it. It was pretty alright. It was like the opposite extreme of Arlo's first impressions. And yeah, I am fucking shit up in Splatoon. I was doing some regular battles for the Splatoween event. I'm on Team Zombie, and now I'm gonna do some tricolor. Alright, back to Arlo. Arlo is talking about the Kirby Direct.
Sakurai is a madman. He's a mad.
No, he didn't call the game woke.
I mean,
sadly.
There's no one word you could even use to describe it.
He just said it
he's
had
just such
propaganda
an
in it.
anomaly.
For Mega
You know,
Corpos.
in this crazy old mixed up gaming industry of ours, he stands out so much. He's just such an anomaly.
Invite for some rounds? Sure, after this.
Already went on and on about how like cool he is and how great he is at giving presentations, you know, the discussion video for the last Direct. But like it must be said again, this guy just puts on such a good show. Just whatever he's doing, he's just such a showman.
The last soulful gaming dev, Sakurai.
I don't know, maybe even more so than the last one. It's clear here that like this is not just a guy advertising a product. You know, this is like he's not selling us on this game.
I mean, he kind of is, though.
None of this was necessary. If any of this were necessary, then we would see it a lot more. We would get multiple hours of direct, of just like breakdowns and gameplay and details and going over all the like for all of the games that Nintendo puts out, but we don't. But this is a Sakurai joint. And I don't know, it's just so obvious that like this is just a guy who loves doing this. You know, like this is a guy who is really, really passionate about the games that he makes. But not just that, it's also like he has such a desire to connect with the people who are gonna be playing these games. Like he clearly, genuinely delights in showing all of this to us and explaining it, but also like he really wants to make
I agree with
sure
them, Golem,
that
but
we've
he's
got
going
a
way too
good
hard about it.
idea about all of it. Like he's giving all these like little
Like, he's still
tips and
paid to
pointers
talk
and
about the game
reminders
to
and
you.
things, and I don't know.
Like, I get it, but come on, man.
It's nuts. And then like, yeah, I mean like for the presentation itself, it's an hour. It's an hour and it's constant.
That's too long for DSP.
It's constant. There's no fluff. It's just info the entire time, just like the last one was, and that was like 40, 50 minutes or whatever. It's just so much. And it's funny because there was once a time when I was thinking, you know what, maybe this will be like a budget game. You know,
You couldn't believe that it was the big holiday title.
And then it was coming out in a few months, and I was just like, I don't know, like, what if it ends up being like a $40 game? Just like, I don't know, like, not a full-blown game. And then he gave us that direct, and now he's given us this direct, and now this game looks so incredible. Just, I mean, like, he just thinks of everything. He thinks of everything. You know, like, it's, you know, it's hard not to think about Mario Kart when, well, on the topic of options, you know, that's often the biggest problem with those games. It's just, there's just like no options. There's
well, if you think of Mario Kart while playing Kirby, you're thinking of it wrong.
Meaningfully customize the experience.
Right, let me open a lobby.
Like, oh, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? But this guy right here, everything imaginable, every little way you could possibly think to tweak any of these various modes. There's just a trillion different ways to play. He considers everything, just down to like individual, like, you know, like a control, like button mapping and stuff. But then and then like accessibility features. He put like a ton in there because this game is very like visually crazy. So like he's put up, like, I don't know. Just considers everything. Just considers everything. And near the end, you know, he talks about how this game is not going to get any DLC, which is really huge.
Based.
Like Nintendo letting him make a game and then letting him, before the game is even out, tell everyone officially on no uncertain terms, there's not going to be any DLC. Like, that's, you'd think an executive at Nintendo would be like, whoa, 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 hold the phone. Like, don't make any promises, right? Why would you close that door if you don't have to? Maybe we'll keep things up. Like, no, they just let him. You want to tell them there's not going to be any DLC? Fine, go ahead. Just in this day and age, it's unheard of. And
yeah, Valit, what game is this music from? Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't even a series. You know, like Kirby Air Ride isn't a series. This is me making another one, and making it as well as he possibly can. It's like, it really does just seem like they did everything possible. You know, like, even as I'm watching, I haven't even played the original, and yet it's just like, you know, introducing a boss. Oh, it's like, okay, well, are there going to be more bosses? Yes, there are. You know, like, oh, you can customize this. Can you customize that? Yes, you can. It's just, every answer is yes. You ask a question about this. Can I change this option?
You knew all the questions people were going to have about the game in real time and answered them.
Everything is yes. Clearly, this was just every possible way he could possibly think to make Kirby Air Ride better. It's the original game, and the original game, like, I don't know, it wasn't like the hugest game, but it did seem to have a pretty okay amount of content, and it's everything and more. Every single thing that the original game did, it takes whatever idea and expands it and fleshes it out and brings in even more options and even more customization, and everything is just...
He's expanding!
It's just huge. This game looks very, very, very content rich, especially for people who are... And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what's cool about it. It's like, it's really approachable. It's like the 1-2 button gameplay. It's relatively simple, but then all of these options and all of the, you know, like the various machines, and there's a lot more technical stuff in there, if that's your cup of tea, you know? So he's made this experience that is somehow simplistic and approachable and accessible, while still like really catering to fans of the original, fans even just of like Smash, people who want a lot more like technical gameplay. They want to really like, they really want to get good at this thing. You know what I mean? It just kind of seems like an experience for everyone. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna like go down the list of real simple stuff.
All of that was just a preamble. That was the real video.
I had friends who were telling me about Top Ride, and I didn't even like really quite get it. I don't even know if I had seen gameplay of that before, but just like, yeah, well, there you go. Top Ride mode is back. And it's bigger. Now you can use any rider and any machine, and there's options for the camera, and the courses are bigger, and you know, you change the controls and everything. So like, there you go. There's just a mode from the original that is coming back. It is really cool. I do think it's neat. It looks like just such a really, just a quick, just a fun, snappy little mode just to kind of drop in and mess around with. Looks really cute. I do love how they look like little dioramas like that. There's like unique items in the mode, so like there you go. Of course, there's a whole thing for you. Oh, okay. Obviously for me, the best part about this whole thing, there's a story mode. That's the sort of thing going into any game like this, any game that's like, you know, it's a racing game, it's a primarily multiplayer game. I barely
he hates
even
multiplayer
ask
car racing
anymore
games
for like a campaign mode. Why ask? I'm just setting myself up for frustration. I gotta just let the multiplayer game be what it is. So when it does happen, boy, and like this one looks good too. It combines all of the different modes of the game. So yeah, so it's single player content. So I like it, obviously. I like single player stuff, but like huge amount of variety, uses all the different stuff in the game. Apparently there's like something of a real story with like cutscenes, like Subspace Emissary style, like
yeah, just don't upload the cutscenes to YouTube.
I mean, yeah. When it comes to this kind of game, that is everything I could possibly want. That's everything that could possibly make a primarily multiplayer game really click with me. So that was exciting. That was certainly exciting. I mean, that's going to be the main thing that I engage with. So that's great. And then there's also the checklist. I've seen this in gameplay. Like, I mean, you know, I'll go like,
I think we won that.
Like downloading Kirby Air Ride footage from Born Losers Gaming to put in my Kirby Air Riders videos as B-roll. No! It's been a lot of my primary exposure to the original. And yeah, the checklist thing, I didn't really get what was going on. But yeah.
Also, Arlo admitted to stealing footage. He's no better than Phil.
I guess it's basically like a sort of an achievements list, but like it fills out the picture as you go. I don't know, but he spent a lot of time talking about checklists, and there's like a whole bunch of them. So that's just another thing for a person to do. You know, more just
it's been Muppet time for the past 2 hours.
Player to fill out, so that's terrific. That's just more. That's just another thing that's returned from the original, and
it's
made
another
even
thing.
Better. What else? I don't know. Just so much little stuff. You know, it's more riders, it's more machines, it's more copies.
He can't really comment specifically on shit because he didn't play the original. He's a fake fan.
Composers and the time attack and it is interesting that time attack is not. There's no online ranking at all. That's really surprising. I do
People will compare times
why.
anyway.
For some reason, he really wanted just like the simple, straightforward time attack to be just for the player, just something for the player. Maybe it's because there are different, different stats for different tracks depending on what machine you use. So maybe he just thought that would get a little bit complicated. So just kind of kept it for the single player. So okay, that's fine. Yeah, loads of other stuff. You can customize your machines on top of the fact that there's already a million different machines. You got hats for the riders. You've got a machine marketplace. That's so cool.
I would like the most intuitive idea
but you get
he
to
announced
see how many people
on that direct.
Like basically, it's just if you've got a really cool looking thing, then people will get it, and you can see that they really liked your design. But then the more people buy it, the more expensive it gets. So that's like a way to really see, like, oh man, this one is so expensive, but like that means that it's really
Is he reviewing
popular.
it or summarizing the
That's
direct?
Incredibly fun.
Latter.
I think
it's like a
that is
DSP movie
such a
review.
Clever idea. I'm looking through here, and there's too much. It's like, what's with the gummy thing? What is that? What even is that?
It's just the trophies. It's the Smash trophies, but again.
Every single individual idea that was proposed was accepted. You get, on top of everything else, you get gummies based on the machines, and you just collect them. And what do you do with them? Well, they go in a big pile, and you can just kind of like mess with them. You just push them around. I don't get it. I don't get it. Sakurai said we could be a gummillionaire. He said that.
The subtitles said that he said that. I don't think he actually said that.
It's so strange. It's so strange. What else? You talked about the amiibo. It was surprising when they announced the 2 amiibo. It's like, oh, you can swap them out. But it's like, there's only 2, though. It was weird that there weren't more. And so, like, yeah, no, he did it. He announced a bunch more. Now there's a whole bunch of them. And there's a DDD one. You could even, like, change the mode that it's in. That's cool. Obviously, the problem...
Nintendine's gonna be eating like a king when he puts out his video about how those amiibo are sitting at clearance. Hello guys, Nintendine here, and I just wanted to have a parable here, an analogy if you will, about the time that I went to Target today, and I witnessed the Meta Knight Kirby Air Riders amiibo sitting in the clearance area. And this is an indication to me that the game has totally flopped, and the sales are not looking well. And this game is not the banger that the Nintendo fans thought it was going to be. The game is bombing, and it is flopping, and it is not saving the Switch 2.
There is that these were already prohibitively expensive. And you know, yeah, to be fair, they are bigger than a standard amiibo, I guess, but like, yeah, I don't know. And now there's like 5 of them. How much were they again? Yeah,
Getting Air Riders day one.
I cannot fathom it. It literally, I cannot remember.
I really like what
40.
I saw.
No, they're 50. They're 50 each.
$50.
That's $250 for a full set of amiibo for this one game. It's absurd. Just absurd. You gotta sell them in a pack or something. You have to, anyway.
The pack is that you get the vehicle with it, dummy.
That, come on. So it was cool. You could, and that's the sad thing about it. Like, he didn't pick the price. You know, he just you know, helped design the amiibo, and they like actually do something in the game, which is cool. It's kind of like yesteryear when these things actually did something other than just getting you some items or whatever. So like, it's sad because like clearly he's very excited. He's like, I can't believe this, you know, like I would have never imagined this 20 years ago, that we'd be here and there'd be a whole line of these interchangeable riders. It's like, it is cool. And he is excited about it. Yeah, it's just a shame. I'm not gonna buy even one. It's ridiculous. So what else? Tracks. He talked about tracks, and you know, he's pulling a Mario Kart. They're gonna be classic ones. Yeah, all of the tracks from the original. So that's 9 plus 9 new ones. And it's not bad. Well, he says that's a lot of tracks. I don't know. Maybe I am spoiled by Mario Kart and all its DLC and everything. I think, at least from what I played, the tracks here, they just seem to go by very fast. They're really, really fast. You know, they're really cool. They're really grand and spectacular. I am a little bit worried.
They're getting the full set.
So like only 9 new ones. I guess for me, if I haven't played the original, the 9 originals I don't know, overall 18. That's not bad. Maybe I was hoping for more, but I don't know. Maybe that's fine. They do look really cool. I mean, every single one. He showed off just like the most amazing designs, just so visual. I love them. I also think they did a really incredible job of modernizing the original tracks without making them they still give that kind of GameCube vibe, you know?
What do you
mean
by that? They don't just look
like brand new recreations. They still have kind of a look of the original, because if they updated it too much, you would lose that. But it's got to look like a little bit better. I don't know. I just think they've kind of.
It still has the nostalgia
perfect
factor.
Balance, a happy medium. I think that's pretty great.
The nostalgia thing.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it.
Yeah.
That's really like the main stuff. Right? Again, the whole thing was just filled with a million little details, and I don't know. It's just cool. You know, it is really cool seeing someone who is so incredibly passionate and also so good at what he does, and I'm just so happy for air ride fans. It just, I don't, you gotta be.
Which you are not one
You gotta
of.
be losing their minds. They have to be, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not one of them, but they've gotta be. This just looks like everything possible that he could have done with a sequel times 3.
They told him to just make a sequel and make it better, make the same thing, but again and better. And don't. They didn't even ask. They didn't even ask him to put a fucking weird gimmick.
And it's neat. I love it. I love this guy. I love him. I hope he lives to be a trillion, and he keeps making games the whole time because everything he touches is just, it's magic. It's just so cool.
He's only in his 50s.
Nintendo
So
did
that's
not
a
need
good amount of
to
years
let
ahead
him
of
do
him.
this game. They didn't need to let him put so much work into it or to do these enormous directs or anything. They could have forced him to do DLC. I don't know. It's just a true passion project, and it's really, really, it's really awesome to see. And we will be playing it pretty darn soon. When's it coming? It's yep, about a month. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, that was a nice summary of the thing I already watched a few days ago. Thank you, Arlo. Yeah, less than a month to release. I will buy it day 1, yes. And I kind of even want to do the demo next Saturday. Not next Saturday, but 2 Saturdays from now, yeah. It'll fall on a Saturday. I'll be able to play it around this exact same time slot. Sakurai did everything right. He did everything correct. Also, I am now losing. Now, guys. Now, this is a really weird one. This is a sponsored video. This is the freshest tactical RPG I've played in years. ҵθς5 Veil of the Witch Impressions. This is a video that he absolutely... This is a video game that he absolutely would not play otherwise. But they gave him a free copy, you guys.
Weird stuff. Hello, my friends. I hope
Hello,
you are doing
everyone.
well. I want to start things off by thanking Ocean Drive Studio for sponsoring this video. As always, I get a lot of sponsorship offers literally every single day, but I only accept the ones for games that I can genuinely recommend and only under the condition that I can be completely honest with my opinions. And once in a blue moon, along comes a game like Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch, which is available right now on Nintendo Switch, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. Hit the link in the description to learn more. Ocean Drive Studio gave me a code and asked me to give the game a go and give you all my impressions, so that is what we're going to do. Here we go. Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch is a tactical RPG
Hey, Audi, do last
roguelike.
round.
So think something like Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics, that kind of thing, except with a roguelike
I try to do my
spin.
part.
And when I was first reading up on the game, I was thinking like, okay, so
Let's see
it's
this
a tactics game, but like when you die, you gotta start over. Like, okay, fine. But no, I've been really surprised by how cleverly the team has married these two ideas. How the roguelite elements make for such a unique experience in the
Oh no, how many
space.
times is he gonna say
the kind
unique?
Of experience I've really not had before. Instead of just making your way through a series of battles or even using a world map or something like that, you pick your crew and you set off on an expedition. And then from there you are constantly
33?
faced with these forks in the road. There are always several paths to choose from, and the game will tell you what kinds of activities you can expect to find down each path.
This seems like the kind of game Goon would play before playing the actual game that he was going to play on whatever stream that he played it on.
What kinds of resources you can hope to gain. There will be NPCs to talk to, and shops, and camps.
In
to
short,
heal
it's a
at, and all
Goon
sorts
game.
of stuff. There's even like fun little weird mystery things where it's like a risk and reward system. You can kind of like roll for some bonus.
How do these 2v2, v4 games work? I probably should have explained it. Yeah. So there are 3 sides versus the standard mode where there's like 2 sides, you know, 4v4. Oh, no. In these modes, the 4-man team is the defenders, and the 2v2 teams, the 2 2-man teams are the attackers. The attackers must approach the center and get that glowing whatchamacallit, the ultra signal, and then stand in place for an amount of time to activate the ultra signal. Once it's activated, it goes onto the whatever 2-man side activated. It goes on whatever 2-man sides that activate it, and then it turns on and just it constantly sprays the ground in a pretty wide area radius, and it basically helps you maintain your ink coverage. It's basically a huge advantage, and you can get up to 2 of those. Technically, the 2-man teams are working together, but friendly fire is on, and you can kill people from the other side. But it's supposed to be the 2-man teams going against the 1 4-man team. The 4-man team is defending the Ultra Signal there. So see, the purple guys are going for the Ultra Signal, but the orange guys are shooting them and felting them. Not to say that you can't win the match without getting the Ultra Signal, but it is a big advantage if you can secure it. I am terrible at my approaches for it. So Ivan is suffering as a result. Other than that, yeah, the standard rules from the main game cover the most ground.
But there could be a downside if you don't get it right. There's just a lot of different weird little things to interact with. And every expedition is completely randomized. So like every time you play, it's going to be a unique experience. You can kind of pick and choose based on what you think you might need, kind of like strategizing early on what resources do you want to prioritize.
We actually got the most ink right now.
It also gives the game a real sense of narrative progression, and you really do feel like you're a little team making your way through the world. So the randomization element is already interesting, but then to really start getting into how the roguelite elements make for such a unique experience, you see, I love RPGs, but I am often really overwhelmed by the task of like micromanaging my characters and all of their abilities and their gear and everything. But here, all of the characters have their base stats and abilities and equipment and all that stuff. And then you just kind of like pick up stuff as you go. There's so much less of a focus on outfitting and training these individual
even if purple wins here, it's still considered a win for us.
As you gain, like pretty much everything you gain is just going to be some bonus or some new ability or resources to gain those things. You get the satisfaction of creating and experimenting with these unique builds every run, but there's a certain simplicity to it. I'm simply adding on to what I have as I go, so I never feel overwhelmed. Like for example, whenever you stop at a shop, instead of buying a bunch of individual gear and items and stuff, pretty much all the stuff you buy is going to be bonuses in some form or another, or resources. There are blessings and curses that stick with your characters. There are relics that have these global effects. And then here's a really good example. You gain resonance stones, and basically every piece of equipment has 3 slots for these stones. Using a stone on a piece of equipment raises its stats, and then the more stones you have equipped, you open up new abilities. So again, you get the satisfaction of building and growing stronger, and even choosing where you want to use these resonance stones, but there's still a certain simplicity to it. You just kind of throw it on there, and then it's stronger, and then you keep going. But my absolute favorite
Hello, what if I don't like roguelites?
I feel the best way that the game
Can you recommend this as a game for me?
The tactics genre is as your characters fight, they will class up, and whenever they gain a level, you get to roll for a new ability or a stat boost. It's that standard roguelite thing where you get to pick between perks, but I love it because it's happening all the time, and it's happening right there in battle. So on the fly, you're making these decisions about what stats you might want to boost, how you want to build your character, or what new abilities you would like them to have. Whereas in traditional RPGs and tactics games, the biggest changes to your characters are going to occur between battles or after battles. Here, they just happen. You're in the middle of things, and suddenly your character has some new bonus or fun move to play with, which just feels so fresh and interesting to me. And because this is a roguelite, and because
everything is so fresh and interesting and unique, and I ran out of vague descriptors already,
that really raises the ceiling on the kinds of abilities and boosts that the game is willing to give you. A traditional RPG where anytime you gain a new ability or item, like you get to just kind of have it forever, so like they have to really make sure they don't give you anything too overpowered. But here, the game experiments with a lot more weird stuff. Just a lot of really cool abilities, and yeah, between classing up and all the stuff that you get, there's just so many fun bonuses. You know, some global effects, or just like a move that does a certain thing, or just like these if-then things. Whenever you get to do this, you get a bonus for this. Like it's all kind of standard stuff, but it's just so interesting seeing it in this setting. So you said interesting again, and you do your battles, and you slowly build up your characters. But HP carries over from battle to battle, and if a unit dies dies mid-battle, then they will resurrect for the next one with really low HP. So you've always got to be really, really cognizant of HP. You have to really, like, aggressively utilize your healers, like, at every opportunity. And if all your units get knocked out, or there's, you know, some other defeat condition, then the expedition ends and, you know, you lose all of the bonuses and things that you have accumulated. You reset back to default. And I am always very wary of roguelites. I really don't play a lot of them. I absolutely cannot stand
because Nintendo hasn't published
progress. But fortunately, this is
Instead
one of those
Donkey Kong
ones where
DLC.
you are expected to lose. You're not expected to get to the end of
Yeah,
every
Arlo is
expedition.
shilling some
And there's
tactical
actually
RPG
a
they paid him to
lot of
play.
stuff that carries over. You know,
And
doing
pretending to
lots
be
of
interested.
expeditions, it all is built into the story. There's a complete, like, lore reason for all of it. The characters are all aware of this. And on that note, the story is pretty fun. You know, I like it. There's some fun writing. The world building is pretty cool. And if you're not into that kind of thing, apparently the story is really not necessary in the slightest. You could skip it all if you want to, so it's nice that you've got the option there. But yeah, so like you've got a consistent story the entire time. The main character has like amnesia, so you're also like slowly unlocking this character's memories.
Game
You can
is
unlock new
Lost
characters,
Eidolons?
and whenever you do, they are permanently added to the roster.
I gave him a code and
the
told him to play
characters
it.
gain relationship as you go. You can like promote the characters, and this is all stuff that is persistent, always carries over. But the best part is the altar of fire. This is the kind of thing that I want in every single roguelite game ever. You gain sacred embers, that's one of your, you know, resources, and you spend them here on what is essentially a skill tree. Like you just unlock stat boosts and bonuses and whatnot, and this is completely persistent. So no matter what, no matter how many expeditions you do, you are always making like real tangible progress. You're always getting that much stronger. And when you add all this together, you know, the expeditions being so randomized, the bonuses are
I
so
was right
fun,
there.
and you acquire them so constantly, there's always this desire to just like keep going and keep experimenting. The altar of fire makes you permanently stronger.
man,
so like you're
Japanese
constantly
players
like,
too
okay,
good.
well, like I want to see how much better I do this time. And compared to a lot of tactics games, the devs have kept the squad very small. Like you're pretty much always choosing 5 members of your expedition. So these battles are a good bit tighter and they move a little bit faster. And I really appreciate that too. Always keeps the experience moving forward. And to touch on the actual tactics gameplay itself, I would say it's really solid. If you've played Fire Emblem, you will be very comfortable here. You know, you've got like your basic weapon triangle.
No, I won't. I don't like the
Different types
character
of
designs you're
weapons are
showing
better
me,
against
Arlo.
Different types of armor.
This shit
Every
sucks. It
character
looks like
has 2
AI made
weapons,
it.
and you can swap between your weapons with their, you know, different abilities as needed. That's kind of cool. There's no MP system. Instead, all of your abilities have cooldowns, and this is another thing that makes the gameplay so much snappier. You don't have to manage your magic or skill meters or anything like that. You can
so
just
it's
jump into a battle,
casualized.
straight away start using all your best stuff. It's awesome. Just keeps things moving. There's some other standard stuff. You know, you've got like different types of terrain you've got to consider. There's some really fun terrain interactions. You know, if you're like hiding in the bushes and then it gets set on fire, it'll deal damage. Or characters who go through water, you know, they get wet and now they're more susceptible to lightning and that kind of fun stuff. I would say my only real complaint about the game is it's the visuals, like when you're in battle.
Was this just an Arlo stream so far? No, I listened to Lord Frogmire's review of Pokemon Legends Z-A after Arlo talked about it positively.
I'm playing on Switch. It may look different on other platforms. I don't know. But, you know, the visuals are just, they're kind of basic. Not, like, terrible or anything, but just, you know, kind of low poly, low res, kind of simplistic. It's not a game with a huge budget, so I get it. And again, it's running on Switch, but it would be nice if it was maybe a little bit smoother. Overall, though, so far, I've been really enjoying my time with Lost Eidolons, Veil of the Witch. Again, I love RPGs and I love tactics games,
He's
but
a
they are
massive
very,
RPG
very
fan.
involved, and I often I'm not
He's
the-
been playing
I'm not
since
the
Dragon
sharpest taco
Quest.
on the Christmas tree. I often get really overwhelmed by all of their various systems, and this game right here, it just brings such a I want to say simplicity, but that's not to say that it lacks depth. You still get all of these great options for building your characters. It's just that the process of doing it is so much more streamlined. So I get the fun and satisfaction of that progression and that tactical gameplay, but the whole package is so much more approachable for me personally. It's so much easier for me to just jump in and do an expedition and see what happens. It feels like so much less of a commitment, you know? So it's just that much easier for me to keep picking back up. Once again, Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch is available right now on Switch, Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. Hit the link in the description to learn more and pick up the game for yourself.
I don't think I'll be doing that, Arlo.
Really cool to work with, and don't tell anyone this, but they've actually given me several codes to give away for free. I'll be doing that over on Blue Sky,
buddy.
so please follow me over there if you would like a chance to get one. Thank you for watching. I love you. Goodbye.
He's woke! Alright, yeah, Arlo's a big fan of RPGs. That's why we never saw him playing literally any RPG ever. He loves sponsorships, though. And he loves Blue Sky. This one is... Oh, it's about the data breach. Nintendo may have just suffered a massive data breach, and Arlo is gonna give us the exclusive scoop. Right now, since I just died.
Crimson Collective is a notorious hacking group, which is weird. It is very strange that people can basically have an organization that they do.
You mean a Discord
plainly
server?
Illegal things with. And
you mean a Telegram channel?
Doing that. Somehow they have secured their anonymity. Somehow, I really don't know how, but they're that confident that they can just like, hey, it's us, the criminals. We're doing criminal stuff. But yeah, they have claimed that they have successfully hacked Nintendo's servers and gotten a whole bunch of stuff. And for a little bit of background here, this may be legitimate. I mean, you know, if anyone is just like, hey, I hacked Nintendo, well, where's the proof? Well, I don't have it yet. You know, they could be lying, but apparently they have successfully hacked a software company called Red Hat.
He has to use Blue Sky since he's blue. That's fair.
They got like a 0.5 terabyte worth of data from GitHub repositories. That apparently did happen because Red Hat acknowledged it and said that obviously they were, you know, contacting the authorities and trying to take action. But yeah, that is a thing that actually happened. And so right now, Crimson Collective
software company
is
called Red Hat, as opposed to a YouTuber that's not named Blue Muppet, but looks like one.
Have hacked Nintendo. And again, they haven't necessarily posted proof yet.
They leaked a bunch of Pokemon shit.
In order to prove this kind of thing, you would probably have to dig up some really... some undeniable evidence. You know, usually when people make fake Nintendo stuff,
you gotta
like
show the
evidence and whatnot,
show the evidence of your crime.
Really
oh yeah, officer.
They would have to dig up something that was
what
like,
police department do you want me to show it
this
to?
is a Nintendo thing. We can tell that Nintendo made this, and like, look, there's all of these professional assets that have been made. Here's like actual gameplay of this game. So they haven't really done anything like that yet. So far, they've just posted a screenshot of a bunch of folders. And, you know, the folders have names like Nintendo Topics, Infra Test Assets, and Preview Local Admin Preview, you know, just like a bunch of like assets and preview and admin stuff.
Because the stuff that they hacked into was stuff related to the website.
To specific games or anything. So yeah, it could.
The website was hacked. So they got stuff related to the website.
That it is not fake, and their goal with these kinds of hacking efforts extortion. That's what
it's a bit of a generalization. Yeah, I know you just said like half a terabyte of data was stolen or whatever, but most of the stuff that was stolen was in relation to the website and the assets and shit. That's why all of that stuff was about like topics and whatnot. Probably related to the news articles that they put out on the front page.
What they want to do. That's why they did. That's why they hacked Red Hat.
How you doing, dude?
So
Doing great, Chris Kinks. Thank you for asking.
Extort them and
kind of winding down here.
Just be like, we'll release all your data.
End the stream before anime night. We're gonna watch anime. Yes.
Because
doing some Halloween, spooky Splatoon splatting
even if you got what you wanted
on a Saturday.
And the company gave you a bunch of money. Well, like you've still got their data. You can still do anything you want with it, you know. Like, so I don't know, but at the same time, you got to develop a reputation, you know. If you blackmail a company
and lead raid,
you take their money, and then you.
All right, this is our signal. All right, this will be the last Arlo video then. Thank you for the raid, and thank you for the raid, and this means I gotta wind down. This is the last Arlo video. It's done. It's done. It's done. He skipped the Arlo segment, and missed Arlo complaining about the Pikmin update not being a paid update. He missed Arlo reviewing Pokemon, and then he missed Synthetic Man's brother trashing Pokemon, and he missed Arlo shilling for a tactical RPG. We know Arlo is such a big RPG fan. He missed Arlo. Well, I guess he's not missing this part. He is currently missing Arlo talking about Nintendo getting hacked. Acting as though he understands anything about it. Big up Shobala and Dragon Slayer and Coggers and Anli, the guy himself, and anybody else coming in. I'm splatting with Ivan Zypher, that guy from the chat that you know. But now that I know the anime night thing, I gotta hurry up. This was a short stream on purpose. He praised the sun.
And then you let the information out anyway, well then the next company isn't going to want to work with it. You got to think about this like a business, you know? So anyway, they have done, they are claiming that they have done the same thing with Nintendo, that they've gotten a whole bunch of stuff from them, and that they are going to, under, you know, in an official capacity, attempt to extort Nintendo.
Of all the things?
Nintendo themselves have not acknowledged any of this yet. I don't know
Why
if
should
they will. I feel like usually these things, I don't know, I guess I can't remember. I want to say there comes a point where you kind of have to acknowledge it. I don't know. I don't know if they did get data. We don't know exactly what they got. Obviously, you know, we've had some really notable leaks. There was the Pokemon Terra leak that brought up a whole bunch of stuff. Nintendo did have their servers hacked some time ago. So we really don't know. We don't know what will come of this. We don't know what they may or may not have. There is no absolute confirmation, you know, undeniable proof that it's happened from Red Hat or from Crimson Collective or Nintendo.
How does it feel? Splatoon is on the way out?
But it is.
You mean just like with new content and stuff? Well, it's been on the way out for a while. They haven't done like actual substantial new content in maybe a year and some change now. We're waiting for the new spin-off, Splatoon Raiders, which they've not talked about since they awkwardly announced it on Nintendo Today. When's Splatoon 4? Nobody knows! They're doing the spin-off first. I mean, they're probably working on Splatoon 4 as we speak.
Interesting to me. You know, as always, I don't really know much about all of this stuff. But it is interesting. I will say, if it's true, it is very disturbing.
He's disturbed!
It's very disturbing. Not just because I'm like
Nintendo
scared
get
that
hacked,
someone's
guys?
gonna spoil Nintendo's secrets or whatever, but like, Nintendo is a massive company. They're very, very profitable. They have very, very strong and scary lawyers with big, sharp teeth and claws, and they're very tall. And so like the idea, so like Nintendo has the resources to make their company and all of their data as safe as is possible. You know, like they have the ability to do the most possible, like
I'm
within
disturbed
just
whenever I have to listen to Arlo.
of
And it's all
technology, what it can
self-imposed.
accomplish, they could utilize the best of the best of the best to keep their stuff safe. Unless this is one of those things where, like, no, the best anti-hacker technology was made in this other country, and we've got to make sure that we have our own proprietary Nintendo version of it. I don't know, it's silly, but like, I don't know. But it's a little disturbing to think that, especially after already being hacked, that they could be hacked again. That they could suffer another major hack. And I know, you know, AI, that concept gets thrown around a lot. There is this fear, I think a lot of us are probably feeling right now, that the hackers
How did this
could
turn into an
utilize
anti-AI
to
video?
essentially do anything. And that, you know, it's kind of scary. Are we on the verge of a complete software meltdown where suddenly the hackers have so much power that all of the, because like we've been building this online thing for decades now. Our entire lives are online. All of our lives, our bank accounts,
This turned into like a
everything, it's all
doom-mongering video
online.
about
So, like, is
AI.
that at risk? Suddenly, is it just going to be like, oh yeah, have you ever shared any data anywhere? Like it's gone. Like is your money on
A
an
lot of you
online
work in
bank?
IT.
Well, it could get
How dumb
snatched
is he
at any
being right
second.
now?
Like, you know, like I don't know. Like obviously, I don't want to fear monger, but like there is this idea: is AI going to make security a really huge problem?
Probably
really
not.
Massive problem everywhere. And you know, things like this, it doesn't really instill confidence within me. At the same time, will there come a time when they can use AI against them? Because, you know,
It just sounds like he's struggling to keep talking about something. Well, dude, we gotta hit 10 minutes on the video for the ad revenue, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna fucking segue and talk about something else. What's tangentially related to a company getting hacked? The rise of AI.
no, again, right here, you've got a group of people who are claiming to have done something. I mean, they have done, you know, with the other company, with Red Hat.
He thinks life is like iRobot.
Extremely illegal. They have committed a great felony and have done so openly. They're being open about it, and they are just confident that because they're so
That shit was happening before
technically
the rise of AI.
skilled, they can stay anonymous. They can somehow anonymize everything that they do so that no one can track them. But then, like, yeah, like, could the authorities, in theory, use AI to find them?
I guess.
Eventually, could we get to that point?
It's not like AI is for hackers only.
Like, yeah, like, could the authorities, in theory, use AI to find them?
Oh, the
Eventually,
hackers
could we get
better
to that
watch out.
point?
The AI could be turned against
really
them.
know. But they seem to be very confident that they can do something really illegally and publicly without fear of being caught. And that's really the most interesting thing here. It's like
The fan fiction you
talk
just
about
made up is the most
poking the
interesting
hornet's
thing
nest.
about this about this
isn't-
topic.
Again, Nintendo's lawyers, just like long fangs, blood dribbling out of it. You know, just like a skin, like a bloodshot eyes. They're big and they're scary. They're huge. They're so tall. I've heard they have 4 arms too, and those all have claws. I don't know. I haven't seen one in person, but that's what I've heard. And they have taken people to court for a lot less. For a lot less than this. This is not poking the hornet's nest. Doing a fan game. That's poking the hornet's nest. This is running up to the hornet's nest and just giving it a good whack. This is running up and just punching it. And just punching it to the ground and giving it.
The way he describes it, he illustrates a scenario, a hypothetical future in which the average Joe Schmo can go on Chat GPT or Gemini and just say like, "Hey Google, let me hack into Nintendo."
Couple stomps. That's what this is. This is all-out war. This is attacking.
Some Dr. Evil bullshit.
A cyber attack. This is an attack.
It's an attack on our democracy.
And so you have that element. Even if they were just looking for fun data, even if they just wanted
red,
to get
white, and
the
furry
stuff
Muppet
'cause they want
blue.
to find out what Nintendo games are coming, that would be bad enough. But if it's like, no, like we got this data so that we could then extort Nintendo, okay, well, I got bad news for these guys.
That happens to companies all the time.
There's literally no reality. That's what it's frustrating about this. I don't know too much about this, but I know enough about Nintendo to know there is no reality where they
I don't think any company would do that.
the ransom.
What company
for their
would?
data. That is a non-existent
What company would? That would tarnish
reality.
their reputation.
And I feel like anyone would know that. I feel like anyone should know that. I feel like
You think?
Crimson
But does he just say that because he
Collective
thinks Sony would
should
pay the
know
ransom? Does he think
that.
Microsoft would pay the
I don't know,
ransom?
I don't know. I think they would self-destruct their own company before they negotiated with a cyber terrorist like this. They would do drastic things before they just would.
This is surprisingly the most annoying video we've put on.
Not proud. So I don't know what these guys expect to gain from this. I feel like best case scenario, you don't get anything from Nintendo. Maybe because of that, you let out all this data and just hurt the company and its employees. That's a problem with leaks like this. It often includes employee information, so all you're doing is hurting people.
No, it's a quick stream. I'm done as soon as this video ends.
You hurt
Me and Ivan gotta watch anime.
You
oh, we got two!
Successfully
Ivan got one, I got one.
Really, really incredibly serious crime, and now you are wanted for this crime forever. So again, best case scenario, you don't get caught, but that is a thing you gotta live with forever, is that you might.
What's up with the fizz bangs? So these only appear in Splatfest events. They're an optional grenade item. Just think of them as another bomb. You get them as you splat opponents, and they only appear in the Splatfest events. They just give you another bomb to use.
And that's it. What did you? That's what you got. So yeah, I don't know. At this point, what we have to do is wait.
Holy shit!
Because obviously the next
was
step
our best
for them
finish yet.
is to start revealing stuff. It is to start giving us, evidence that this is a legitimate attack. It's like sending a photo of the hostage. They're gonna be like, hey, what about this game you were working on? I don't know. We never know what kind of data they've got. It's hard for me to believe that they got all of it. Just literally all of it. They now know everything about Nintendo and what they've
stream
ever
ends
done.
when Arlo stops talking.
Even last time when they got hacked, it seemed like they mostly got a lot of older
Where are we
stuff.
at?
Old
it's like a minute or two.
things. It wasn't a lot about
Last match,
upcoming
Ivan.
stuff. So yeah, I
I
really
know,
don't know.
I'm holding things
I don't know
up.
how much they might have gotten or claimed.
I'm sorry,
to
you
have gotten,
guys. Let me find the raid
but
target.
That is what's going to happen. If this
Let's
is
see
true,
who's live.
then they're going to start posting stuff, and that may be disappointing. We may get spoiled on some stuff, or it'll just be old stuff that doesn't really spoil anything, but shows oh nuts, yeah, this is real. So yeah, I don't know. We kind of just have to wait and see. That's not a fun one. That's not a fun situation at all. You know what I think? Hot take. This is my knee-jerk reaction to the situation. I may be the only one here, but I think that these guys are no
there's Ivan
good.
right there, Coggers.
I think this is bad. I think they probably
Arlo's hot take.
I think
Hacker
this is
bad.
not a good move. I think they should stop and apologize immediately. And if maybe they'll get off with a warning if they sound sincere enough. You may have knocked down that hornet's nest and stomped on it and destroyed it completely, and now the entire swarm of hornets is just right there. Just 1,000 hornets that are now angry, and they're right there next to you. But like, yeah, I think if you...
How is the video still going though? Like actually.
And you really...
yes.
Thank you, Flippy.
You
How
let
is the
them know
video
you're
still
really
going though?
sorry
How
you
is
really
it still
didn't mean
going
it, and you
though? How
promised
is it
you'll
still
never do
going
again.
though?
I think it's gonna turn out okay.
There we go. We got it. All right. Let's see. Let's finish the game on a bang. Good. Go, go, go. Shit. Oh, I'm gonna go. No, fuck. That orange guy was hiding. Just zoned out on the vid? I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, just say hacker bad and leave it at that. Why did it have to turn into, like, some sort of schism about AI? Oh, AI! You're gonna be able to enter ChatGPT and ask it to hack 7-Eleven and give you free Slurpees for life. Could you imagine? Go, 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 go! This is it. I'm going. Got it. Let's end on a W. Yeah, on Strava. It's a short stream on Strava for the Splatoon 3 Splatoween Splatfest event. We're repping Team Zombie against the skeletons and the ghosts. But this is my last match. It's anime night. Shortest stinkish stream in existence. So many watch streaks are gonna be felted. Yeah, a little free Slurpee. Free Slurpees and hot dogs. Aw, I could go for a 7-Eleven hot dog right now. Belted _ streaks. Stop playing Splatoon. Anna's starting. I know. This is it. We're winning. Look, 40%. 40. We're 40%. Hey, Infamous Chaos Stinger. What am I supposed to do with my night now, huh? Well, stream is live. What do we end at? Obvious W. 43%! That's a little bit above 42%. Can go another round or two. Oh, okay, we can do one more. Can we go 3 for 3 on the W's? Yeah, this will be the last one, and then I'll make some ramen, get a quick drink, and then, yeah, we'll be set. Start up the next Arlo vid? I can't! His next one is... what is it? We never watched his Donkey Kong review. We watched him talk about Donkey Kong, but we never watched the Donkey Kong review. Oh, yeah, no, we can't, Alpha, because these next 4 videos are about that Pikmin movie that Nintendo put out. And he had like a saga with this Pikmin movie, and I kind of want to watch that, like, all 4 videos in one go. So first he talked about it. No, first he reacted to it live. Then he talked about it in a rambling video. Then he counted each individual Pikmin in the video as like a meme. And then he put out a 4th video because Nintendo blocked his reaction to it. What? And I got a lot of true crime backed up too. Yeah, Splat streams are good for videos. Just turn your brain off. Listen to Arlo talk about games he would not have bought otherwise if he didn't get them for free. When is True Crime Night? I gotta figure it out. It's gotta be a game I'm like not playing on the stream for the first time. It's gotta be during like a grind nonsense stream, you know? Xenoblade was perfect for that, but then Xenoblade ended. Splatoon was perfect for that too. And then Splatoon stopped adding content.
Would you like more?
Whoa, Infamous KS the 10-bit cheer. Now guys, if you enjoyed Dinger going overtime, let's get some support. I basically went overtime and I got nothing out of it. I did promise I would eventually go back and do all the Mario Kart time trials. Just like I did for 8 Deluxe. I even did the booster course, the booster pass courses in 8 Deluxe time trials. But I think the Mario Kart World meta is still Toadette on the blooper, the baby blooper buggy. If you like the fact that I'm going overtime, please consider supporting the stream, guys. Seriously, we've got like nothing from Kick. Nothing from Kick at all. It's just been an all Twitch support night. Like, what is going on with that? Right? Like, what is going on, guys? Like, come on. Think of Slippy for the giant bits. The engagement bait worked. Yes. We're gonna lose this. That other player's name is like Sad Raccoon. It makes me think of cat. Where's your big emo? I see it. It shows up on my overlay. ASCP. I can see it in the chat. Mrs. Dinger is the sat downstairs crying, waiting for Dingus. He's doing overtime for us. Hang on, guys. I gotta go wake her up and make me dinner. I gotta go to the hospital. Leave her with a pill. It keeps giving you stream streaks. Well, I've noticed some UI bugs ever since they introduced the watch streaks for everybody. But you think there wouldn't be? But they did change a lot with the watch streaks after introducing it to everybody. Maybe it might have something to do with them tinkering with all that shit. It just resulted in everything breaking. Sites held together by duct tape.
This'll be fun.
Whoa, yes. Thank you, Silent Assassin, for the 50 bits. Falling for the grift. Yes, we've hit the goal, everybody. Alright, let's spend our shit. Then I can get out of here. Whoa, let's get a poll! It's a 6-star Inkling! Alright, I'm caught up on everything. Oh, we got one license. Finally. What are we buying? I'm not gonna use any of these weapons, though. None of these are dingus-coated weapons. Let's get these Dabble Doolies. I really don't like Doolies, though. Yeah, get your Splatoween redeems in, because the stream is ending! It's done! It's over! We're never gonna stream again! We're gonna get cancelled! And banned! Let's see the art. Hey, look, look how smooth everything is now. The power of 60 FPS on the Switch 2. What are the people drawing? Look at all this. Look at this fur shit. Team Skeleton? Fuck that guy. 10/26 is my birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, spooky scary skeletons. Team Zombie. Oh, I like this one. These people cheat though. They don't actually draw this stuff on the Switch. They use some kind of program and then they draw on their tablet and inject it into the game. I forgot how they do it, but they have like a way of doing it. They don't draw this on the Switch. Well, maybe this person did. Thank you for the treat, Snurgle. Get your treat redeems in. The stream is ending. You saved your streak, but you didn't save your treats. Look, it's Brooke. It's Brooke. There he is, the guy from that manga you like. Oh, big ups, Squid Sisters. Got Marina. Team Skeleton with Fry. We don't like Fry though. Skull Gang. That's the skull is indented, but it should be. The real ones in Wii U had to draw that shit raw. Yeah. Now the whole plaza is toxified by people, by furries and people advocating for more rights that they don't deserve. I don't think there are any people hanging out here. I like the spooky atmosphere too. The lighting's a bit different. You got these these are the fucking floaters you see when you're old and your eyes don't work as well. You see these floaters floating around. Ghost Avenue. It's supposed to be a character that I don't know about. Alright, well there was someone hanging out here. I guess my character must be pretty old. There's like a million floaters hanging about. The mold! Look at all the water. I'm surprised it took this long for us to find the first Jack Skellington. Team Boney? Team Holy Ghost? We got the guys. Big Man's a ghost. Shiver is like a vampire. And Fry's a spooky little skeleton. Oh, it's a Plants vs. Zombie! It's the guy! Of course, we get the Sans and Papyrus. Undertale. Oh, is that heckin' Sans Undertale? This game made my finger hurt. Are you Phil? You got the carpal tunnel, brother? Oh, look, Pokemon. The ghost types. We hate ghosts though. We're team zombie. This isn't looking good, guys. There are a lot of Team Skeleton arts. I didn't see much Team Zombie art. We might be in trouble. A lot of Team Skeleton art. Some Team Ghost art, barely any Team Zombie art. We're felted, bud. Now I got the kids that don't know who Jack Skellington is, so I'm less surprised. They just gotta make a remake or make a sequel. Thing is calling out my eyes. Just like log off and leave your avatar to emote while you're gone. What do you mean? The VTuber? No, I closed the program. What? Alright, who's live right now? We gotta, like, quick panic raid, and then I gotta quick panic make some ramen. Alright, I see some candidates. I think we're gonna go to... Shroom is live. I think people will default to either Shroom or Allbody_Tevin. I think we should send you guys to... Oh, this is a collab. I feel a bit hesitant about raiding collabs because it's like an awkward kind of atmosphere. Because it's like, only one person sees the raid. And the other people in the collab kind of have to accommodate the other one guy who got the raid. I'm gonna send you guys to Halligan. Gonna send us to another femboy? Not tonight. They're not all femboys. And we don't call them femboys, we call them the odd collection of female presenting males that are somehow existing within my follow list. The reverse otokonokos. Oh wait, no, that would be straight up otokonoko, not reverse. No, just straight up played straight otokonoko. Now technically the guy we rated yesterday wasn't a femboy, he was just an what's the term? Ikemen? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Alright, Pablo. Let her rip. I gotta go. It's just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Anime night. 2 minutes. Bye-bye.
It's nice to rest your
Thanks for stopping by. It wasn't the shortest Dingus stream ever. We got over 3 hours. Big ups to the dinguses, the dingers, the dongers, and swollen double underscore ones who made it to the end of the stream. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, you made it. You made it to the end of the stream. I'm proud of you for doing it. Go get yourself something to eat. Go get a bite. Go get a drink. Go get up. Walk around. Get some shut-eye. Or don't, because it's only 11. Midnight Eastern. You have the whole night ahead of you. We're gonna go raid Halligan. He's playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And let's go help him out. Let's go send some people his way. Let's fill his coffers with people to enjoy his gameplay. Halligan is here all the time. He is detractor coded. You can talk to him about Phil, and he will know what you're talking about. And he's not a femboy. He's a bug PNG tuber. He's a bug. He's bugged. He's got the bug. He's paused. He's got the gift. Oh, and let me open Streamlabs. We've got a lot of positivity today. Thank you so much to all the positivity. Thank you to Silent Assassin for the 50-bit cheer. Whoa. Infamous KS, a 10-bit cheer. And Leet, rate with a party of 28. Y2Kilo, tier 1 for 4 months. Dracula with the follow. Brian MK gifting tier 1s to Ends of Win, who's here right now. And Big Rocket Man, Turbo HD Remix. Saru with the re-up, tier 1 for 29 months. And we're caught up. Alright. Wherever you go, regardless of the case, please give Halligan a follow. If and when you go there. You know, let's help him out, guys. Let's be positive. He's here in my stream all the time. But I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Big ups. Bye-bye, adios, and meme time. We'll see you when we see you. And if we didn't see you, then we didn't see you. But if we did see you, then we saw you. And if we didn't see you, hopefully we will see you next time. If I can see myself in the mirror each and every single day, hopefully I can inspire viewers like you, Rue, to see themselves in their mirrors each and every single day. I'm just glad that my Ethernet port isn't fucked. It actually was the cord. The Ethernet cord from last night's Scuffed Mario Party collab, it was what got felted by the power surge. The port itself is fine. I just bought a new cord, and the whole stream worked with Ethernet just fine, so that's good. All right, but yeah, it's a raid. Scuffed raid, splat raid. I guess that's the raid message. Oh, spooky splat raid. Alright, please follow Halligan when you go over there, and Resident Evil 3 tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take it easy.